Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Spacetime channel. Tonight, we'll be exploring the ethereal landscapes that rise up to meet us the moment we drift away. It is a silent cinema played out behind closed eyelids, where gravity loses its hold and the impossible becomes routine. Here, the boundaries of physics dissolve into mist, and time itself flows like a slow, golden river. Since the dawn of consciousness, humans have sought to understand this nightly voyage. It is a phenomenon that connects us all, a universal language of symbols, fears, and hopes, woven deeply into the tapestry of our biology. It is an inner universe, just as complex as the galaxies spinning above our heads. So tonight, we will wander through a gentle stream of 200 fascinating facts about dreaming. We will trace the science of the sleeping mind and drift through the strange logic of the subconscious. If you find peace in these quiet journeys, I invite you to like and subscribe, helping us reach one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, there is nothing left to solve. Find a comfortable position. Let your breath find a slow, steady rhythm, like the tide coming in. Let your eyes grow heavy, and let your mind soften. Let's begin. There is a universal signal that unites every human being, a quiet reflex that visits us when the energy of the day begins to fade. It often arrives without warning, a sudden, deep need to fill the lungs, a stretching of the jaw that feels almost impossible to resist. It is the yawn, the body's first gentle whisper that it is time to shift gears. For a long time, we believed this was simply a hunger for oxygen, a way to wake up a tired mind. But modern science offers a more soothing explanation. A yawn is actually a cooling mechanism for the brain. Imagine the brain as a busy engine that has been running warm all day, processing thousands of thoughts and decisions. When you yawn, the sudden intake of cool air rushes into the sinus cavities, while the stretching of the jaw increases blood flow to the skull. It acts like a radiator, exchanging the heat of your busy thoughts for the cool, fresh air of the evening. It is a thermal reset, a ventilation system designed to lower the temperature of your mind. So when you feel that deep breath taking hold, do not fight it. It is your body physically blowing away the heat of the day, preparing the mind to enter the cool, dark waters of sleep. As you lie still, you may notice a familiar sensation beginning to press down on you. It is a specific kind of heaviness centered around the eyes. It feels as if invisible weights are gently pulling on your lashes, urging the curtains to close on the world outside. This sensation is the result of a tiny, tireless muscle called the levator palpebrae superioris. Throughout every moment of your waking life, this muscle works constantly to hold your eyelids open against the pull of gravity. It is one of the few muscles in the body that is almost always active. But as the chemical adenosine builds up in your system, the natural byproduct of being awake, it signals this specific muscle to finally rest. The tension that holds your eyes open begins to dissolve. The muscle fibers lengthen and relax, and gravity, which has been waiting patiently all day, finally takes over. There is a profound relief in this surrender. It is the body's way of saying that there is nothing left to see, nothing left to watch. The visual world is turning off, allowing you to turn your gaze inward to the soft, dark canvas of your own mind. There is a ritual we all perform, almost instinctively, the moment our head meets the pillow. We shift, we turn, and we seek out that perfect, cool patch of fabric. The sensation of a cold pillow against a warm cheek is one of the most universally comforting feelings known to the human experience. This desire for cold is not just a preference. It is a biological requirement for deep rest. For the brain to initiate the sleep sequence, the core body temperature must drop by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Your head, which holds so much heat, acts as the primary chimney for the body. When you place your cheek against the cool cotton of the pillowcase, a process of conduction begins. The heat transfers from your skin to the fabric, wicking away the warmth and signaling the hypothalamus, the brain's master clock, that the environment is safe and the time for hibernation has come. It is a simple thermal embrace. By finding the cool side of the pillow, you are aligning yourself with the cooling earth outside, syncing your personal rhythm with the dropping temperature of the night air. During the day, we carry the weight of our responsibilities not just in our minds, but in the very fibers of our bodies. We hold our shoulders up, we clench our jaws, we tighten our backs to stand tall. But now, as you lay horizontal, that armor is allowed to fall away. As you settle into the mattress, a wave of signals travels from the brainstem down the spinal cord, touching every muscle group from the neck down to the toes. This is the onset of atonia, or muscle relaxation. Imagine a tightly coiled rope that is suddenly cut. The tension snaps and then vanishes. The shoulders drop away from the ears, sinking into the mattress. The hands, which have been gripping and holding all day, naturally uncurl into a soft, open shape. The legs, no longer needing to support your weight, roll slightly outward. You are no longer holding yourself up. The bed is now doing all the work for you. You are an object at rest, anchored by gravity, heavy and safe, with no need to move a single inch. If you listen closely to the room, you will hear the rhythm of the air changing. When we are awake, our breathing is often shallow, irregular, or held tight by focus and stress. But as sleep approaches, the breath finds a new, deeper cadence, like the slow rolling of ocean waves. This shift happens because the control of your breathing is moving from the voluntary nervous system to the autonomic nervous system. You are no longer deciding to breathe. Your body is taking over the pilot's seat. As the metabolic demand of the body drops, you need less oxygen. The breaths become slower, but they also become more rhythmic. The exhalation becomes slightly longer than the inhalation. This long exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, a superhighway that tells the heart to slow down and the blood pressure to drop. With every long, slow breath out, you are physically expelling the tension of the day. It is a rhythmic lullaby that you sing to yourself, a constant, steady reminder that you are alive, you are safe, and you are free to let go. As the night deepens, you might find yourself instinctively drawing your knees up toward your chest, curling your body into a small, compact shape. This is the fetal position, the most common sleeping posture known to mankind, adopted by millions of people at this very moment across the globe. This impulse to curl inward is not merely a matter of comfort. It is a thermal strategy deeply encoded in our biology. By reducing the surface area of your body exposed to the cool air, you create a self-sustaining loop of warmth. Your breath warms your chest, and your arms protect your vital organs. It is a posture of total self-preservation. But deeper than that, it is the physical memory of our very beginning. It mimics the geometry of the womb, the first place we ever knew safety, returning the spine to its primary, gentle curve. In this shape, you are impenetrable. You have created a closed circuit of warmth and safety, a physical shield that allows the soft, vulnerable parts of your spirit to rest without fear. Long after the sun has dipped below the horizon, a second sunset occurs deep within the center of your brain. It is a chemical sunset, invisible to the eye, but felt deeply by the spirit. Buried deep in the center of the brain, roughly the size of a single grain of rice, sits the pineal gland. For thousands of years, philosophers called this the seat of the soul. Biologically, it is the master switch of sleep. As the optic nerves report the fading light of the day, this tiny gland opens the floodgates for melatonin. This hormone is not a sleeping pill that forces you under. Rather, it is a signal carrier. It flows through the bloodstream like a velvet message, whispering to every organ, every muscle, and every tissue that the time for activity has passed. It lowers blood pressure and glucose levels, painting the interior of your body in the chemical colors of night. You do not need to force sleep to come. You simply need to allow this inner tide to rise. It is a dark, sweet nectar washing over your cells, a liquid blanket tucked in by your own biology. There is a strange, sudden phenomenon that often visits us right on the edge of the abyss. Just as you are drifting into the mist, you might feel a sudden jolt, a sensation of stumbling or falling that causes your leg to twitch. This is known scientifically as a hypnic jerk. It is a momentary misunderstanding between the brain and the body. As your muscles release their tension and go completely slack, the more primitive parts of your brain, the parts responsible for keeping you upright, sometimes misinterpret this sudden relaxation as a loss of balance. Thinking you are falling, the brain sends an emergency electrical pulse to the muscles to catch you. It is a reflex that dates back to the time when our ancestors slept in the boughs of high trees, where a fall could be fatal. While it may startle you for a moment, it is actually a sign of safety. It is a ghostly reminder that a part of you is always watching, always ready to catch you, ensuring you are safe even as you surrender to the gravity of sleep. If you were to place a hand over your chest right now, you would feel the engine of your life, your heart, shifting its rhythm. It is moving from the staccato beat of the day to the adagio tempo of the night. During the waking hours, the sympathetic nervous system acts like a gas pedal, keeping the heart ready for action. But as you lie still, the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, takes the wheel. It sends signals via the vagus nerve to the pacemaker cells of the heart. The space between each beat widens. The pressure in the arteries softens. The blood, which was rushing to fuel your thinking brain and active muscles, begins to pool gently in the core and the skin. Your heart is no longer racing against time. It has become a slow, steady metronome, tapping out a rhythm of deep peace, counting the moments of rest until the morning comes. The world does not go silent when we sleep. The wind still blows and the house still settles. Yet, for the sleeper, these sounds seem to exist miles away, behind a thick, heavy curtain. This is the work of the thalamus, a structure sitting deep in the brain that acts as the sensory gatekeeper. During the day, it forwards every sound, sight, and touch to your conscious mind. But as the brain waves slow into the sleep spectrum, the thalamus effectively shuts the doors. It begins to block the signals from your ears, preventing them from reaching the cortex. It decides that the hum of the refrigerator or the distant passing of a car is not important enough to disturb you. It creates a neurological barrier, a fortress of silence. You are safe inside this fortress. The noise of the world may continue, but you have been granted a private sanctuary, a quiet room inside your own head where nothing can touch you. Before you closed your eyes tonight, you likely performed a small, unconscious ceremony. You adjusted the pillows, you smoothed the sheets, and you pulled the blankets up to a specific height. This is not just a modern habit of comfort, it is an ancient instinct of construction. Anthropologists have found that great apes, our distant cousins, spend hours every evening constructing complex sleeping platforms. They weave together pliable branches and line them with soft foliage to create a cradle high in the canopy or safe on the ground. When you adjust your mattress and arrange your bedding, you are mimicking this primal nesting behavior. You are engineering a micro-environment, a small, controlled depression in the landscape that supports your specific spinal curvature and retains your specific heat. Your bed is your nest. It is a structure you have built to hold you, a private island of softness designed to keep the hard, unyielding world at a distance. There is a unique sense of security that comes from being covered. Even on a warm night, many of us find it impossible to sleep without at least a thin sheet draped over our bodies. We crave the feeling of being tucked in. This craving is rooted in a physiological phenomenon known as deep pressure stimulation. When a heavy blanket presses closer against the skin, it stimulates the proprioceptive system, the sensory network that tells your body where it is in space. This gentle, uniform pressure acts almost like a physical hug. It triggers a cascade of neurochemistry, lowering cortisol, the stress hormone, and boosting the production of serotonin and dopamine. It tells the nervous system that the boundaries of the body are secure. The blanket is a shield. It does not just keep the cold out, it holds the self in. It is a physical affirmation that you are contained, whole, and safe from harm. Complete silence can sometimes feel heavy or loud. Instead, the most hypnotic sound for the human brain is often the sound of nature. The steady hum of rain, the rush of a distant wind, or the rolling of the ocean. Scientists call this pink noise. Unlike white noise, which is static and harsh, pink noise lowers the volume of high-pitched frequencies and boosts the deep, low tones. This mimics the frequency of the natural world. When you listen to rain falling, the sound is random yet consistent. It occupies the auditory processing center of the brain without demanding attention. It creates a sound mask, a sonic blanket that smooths out any sharp or sudden noises from the environment that might startle you. It is the lullaby of the planet. It is a signal that says the world is continuing its steady rhythm outside, breathing in and out, so you don't have to watch over it. As you turned off the lamp, the room didn't just get darker. The very nature of your vision changed. The vibrant reds, blues, and greens of the day faded away, leaving behind a world of soft grays and deep shadows. The human eye has two types of receptors: cones, which see color and detail, and rods, which see light and motion. The cones require bright sunlight to function, but in the dim light of the bedroom, the cones go offline and the rods take over. Rods are incredibly sensitive, but they cannot perceive color. This is why the furniture in a dark room looks like soft, charcoal silhouettes. This biological switch reduces the amount of information the brain has to process. The world becomes simpler, less demanding, and less defined. The sharp edges of reality are sanded down. The visual noise of the world is muted, turning your surroundings into a soft, impressionist painting that is easy to drift away from. Have you ever noticed how the air smells different at night? Or how the scent of a fresh rainstorm can make your eyelids heavy? Our sense of smell is the only sense that bypasses the logic centers of the brain and goes straight to the emotional core. The olfactory bulb has a direct hotline to the limbic system, the ancient part of the brain responsible for memory and emotion. Certain scents, like the damp earth after rain, trigger a primal safety response. For our ancestors, rain meant water for crops and a pause in the activity of predators. When we breathe in clean, cool air, or the faint scent of lavender on a pillowcase, the brain releases an immediate signal of relaxation, bypassing all conscious thought. You are breathing in peace. With every inhalation, you are drawing the safety of your sanctuary into your lungs, letting it circulate through your blood, calming you from the inside out. It is not just your body that cools down at night. The ground beneath the foundations of your home does the same. If you could see energy, you would see the earth breathing out a long, slow sigh as soon as the sun goes down. This is a phenomenon known as radiative cooling. During the day, the soil, the stones, and the pavement absorb the intense heat of the sun. But when the sky turns dark, that heat is released back upward, drifting out through the atmosphere and escaping into the infinite cold of space. This is why the grass feels cool to the touch at midnight, and why the air near the ground feels fresher. The planet is shedding the weight of the day's energy, balancing its own internal ledger. You are part of this great cooling. As the Earth releases its heat into the stars, you are invited to release your own worries into the dark, letting them float away until they are gone. In the deepest silence of the night, you might hear the sudden, soft creak of a floorboard or the click of a wall, even though no one is walking there. We often call this the house settling, and that is exactly what it is. Houses are built from materials that live and breathe timber, glass, and metal. During the day, the warmth causes these materials to expand, stretching slightly at the joints. As the night air cools the structure, these materials contract. They shrink back to their resting size, slipping slightly against one another. The sounds you hear are the sounds of tension being released. The beams in the rafters are relaxing their posture after holding the roof up against the heat of the day. It is a comforting sound. It is the sound of your sanctuary resting its bones, getting comfortable for the night, just as you are. Outside your window, a quiet transformation is taking place in the invisible air. As the temperature drops, the air loses its ability to hold on to water, and a magical change begins to occur on every leaf and blade of grass. This is the arrival of the dew point. Water vapor, which has been floating invisibly all day, suddenly slows down. The molecules lose their energy and huddle together, condensing into tiny, perfect spheres of liquid. This process cleanses the air. Dust and pollen are trapped by the moisture and gently pulled down to the earth. The air literally becomes heavier and cleaner, washed by the cooling night. The atmosphere is polishing the world while you sleep. It is preparing a fresh, glistening morning for you, washing away the dust of yesterday so you can wake up to something new. There is a reason we feel most comfortable sleeping with a wall behind us and a heavy door locked between us and the outside. It is an echo of a time when the cave was our only fortress. Evolutionary psychologists call this the need for refuge and prospect. We desire a space where our back is protected, but we feel we can see any danger coming. When you are in your bedroom, surrounded by 4 solid walls and a ceiling, your brain recognizes the geometry of safety. It scans the environment, realizes there are no open angles for surprises, and lowers the vigilance threshold of the amygdala, the brain's alarm system. You are enclosed. You are fortified. The architecture of your room is a stone circle of protection, allowing your mind to wander far away without ever looking back. Even on the darkest nights, we are rarely left in total blackness. There is almost always a faint silver glow that filters through the curtains, painting the room in monochrome. The moonlight that reaches your pillow is a traveler. It is sunlight that has journeyed 93 million miles to the moon, bounced off the grey, dusty rocks of the lunar surface, and traveled another 200,000 miles back to your window. This light is unique because it is reflected light. It has no heat. It has no glare. It triggers no wakefulness signals in the brain. It is merely a visual whisper, a soft luminosity that allows us to see the outlines of our sanctuary without waking us up. It is a night light provided by the cosmos, a gentle reminder that even when the sun is gone, the universe is still holding a light for you, watching over your rest from the silence of space. Deep inside the center of your brain, sitting just above the roof of your mouth, there is a tiny cluster of 20,000 neurons. It is no larger than a grain of rice, yet it is the conductor of your entire biological orchestra. This is the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It is your body's internal master clock. It does not tick in seconds or minutes. It ticks in light and shadow. For millions of years, this tiny cluster has tracked the rising and setting of the sun, synchronizing every cell in your body to the rotation of the Earth. Even now, in the dark, it is keeping perfect time. It orchestrates a silent symphony of hormones, temperature changes, and digestion, ensuring that your internal organs are asleep while you are asleep. You are not separate from the planet. You are a timepiece of the universe, physically tuned to the spinning of the world, humming in perfect harmony with the cosmos. We often think of sleep as a time of inactivity, a time when everything stops. But at the microscopic level, the exact opposite is true. When your conscious mind shuts down, a vast army of workers clocks in for the night shift. This is the time of mitosis, cellular division and repair. During the day, your energy is spent on moving and thinking. But at night, the body redirects that energy toward healing. The production of proteins ramps up. The skin cells, in particular, divide and regenerate far faster while you sleep than when you are awake. Your body is busy knitting together the wear and tear of the day, replacing old cells with new ones, stitching the fabric of your being back together. Sleep is not a pause, it is a renewal. While you drift in dreams, you are being quietly rebuilt, so that you may wake up tomorrow a literally newer person than you were today. Throughout the day, a chemical called cortisol flows through your veins. It is the fuel of alertness, the hormone that helps you react, move, and solve problems. But, like the tide going out, this chemical must recede for peace to arrive. As the darkness grows, your cortisol levels drop to their absolute lowest point. It is a biological stand-down order. The adrenal glands cease their firing. The tension that keeps your heart rate elevated and your muscles primed begins to wash away. Without this chemical push, the body naturally sinks into a state of lethargy and softness. It is the chemical equivalent of taking off a heavy suit of armor after a long journey. The battle is over. The need to be alert, to be ready, to be on guard has completely evaporated. There is nothing left to fight, only a quiet space to rest. There is a kind of magic that happens to children while they sleep. They grow taller. But even for adults, this deep, restorative magic persists in the marrow of our bones. During the deepest phase of sleep, known as slow-wave sleep, the pituitary gland releases a pulse of growth hormone. This is a powerful, restorative agent. It travels to the muscles and the bones, stimulating repair and strengthening the skeletal structure. It acts like a nourishing rain on a parched field. This hormone is shy. It rarely comes out during the day. It waits for the silence of deep sleep to do its work, strengthening the very pillars that hold you up. You are being strengthened in the dark. Without you lifting a finger, your body is reinforcing its foundations, ensuring that you will be strong enough to stand tall when the sun returns. For centuries, scientists wondered how the brain, which works so hard, cleans itself. It has no lymphatic vessels like the rest of the body. The answer was found only recently, and it is a process that only happens when you surrender to sleep. It is called the glymphatic system. When you fall asleep, the cells in your brain actually shrink slightly, creating more space between them. Then, the cerebrospinal fluid rushes in like a gentle tide. It washes through the tissue of the brain, flushing out the toxins and waste products that have built up during the day's thinking. It is a literal brain wash. The fluid sweeps away the chemical clutter, polishing the neural pathways. Your mind is being clarified. The fog of the day is being rinsed away, leaving behind a crystal clear landscape, ready for fresh thoughts and new dreams. We often imagine sleep as a long, unbroken block of time, a single, stagnant lake. But in reality, sleep is an ocean with rising and falling tides. Throughout the night, your brain does not stay in one place. It travels in cycles. These are called ultradian rhythms. Approximately every 90 minutes, your brain completes a full tour of consciousness. You drift down from light sleep into the heavy, slow-wave hibernation of deep sleep. And then you float back up toward the surface into the vivid, active world of dreaming. Then the cycle repeats. It is a rhythmic oscillation, a biological pendulum swinging back and forth. You are surfing these invisible waves all night long, moving between the shores of recovery and the open waters of the imagination. You are never stagnant. Even in your deepest rest, there is a flow, a gentle momentum that carries you safely through the night, one wave at a time. There is a paradox in the human body. When the mind is at its most vulnerable, the body's defenses are at their strongest. The night is not just for resting, it is for guarding. As your adrenaline drops and your muscles relax, your immune system wakes up. It releases proteins called cytokines. These are the messengers of healing. Without the energy demands of walking or talking, your body can direct all its resources to hunting down viruses, repairing inflammation, and patching up microscopic wounds. It is a nightly patrol. While you are unaware of anything but the softness of your pillow, a silent army is moving through your bloodstream, putting everything back in order. You can relax completely, knowing that you are being looked after from the inside. Your body is fighting your battles for you, so you don't have to lift a finger. The sleep you are enjoying right now is actually made of sunlight. The darkness of the night is inextricably linked to the brightness of the day that preceded it. During the day, when sunlight hits your eyes, your brain produces serotonin, the chemical of happiness and wakefulness. But the brain does not discard this chemical when the sun sets. Instead, in a feat of biological alchemy, the pineal gland takes that stored serotonin and chemically alters it, converting it into melatonin, the chemical of sleep. The more bright light you absorb during the day, the more fuel you have to create deep sleep at night. You are carrying the sun with you into the dark. The light you gathered today has been transformed into a soft, dark blanket, wrapping you in the warmth of a day well lived. There is a specific moment in the night, usually around 4 in the morning, where you reach your absolute point of stillness. It is the bottom of the curve, the deepest part of the valley. Scientists call this the minimum body temperature, or the thermal nadir. Your internal temperature drops to its lowest point in the 24-hour cycle. At this moment, your metabolism is moving at a glacial pace. Your heart rate is at its slowest. Your breathing is shallow and efficient. It is the closest a human being gets to the state of hibernation. It is a period of profound energy conservation, where the body is barely humming, saving every ounce of power for the coming dawn. In this deep stillness, time seems to stop. It is a moment of pure existence, where the demands of life are suspended, and you are simply a quiet, breathing part of the world. The Earth itself has a frequency. Between the surface of the ground and the ionosphere, miles above, there is a constant electromagnetic hum, a resonance that has existed for as long as the planet has had an atmosphere. This is known as the Schumann resonance. It vibrates at a fundamental frequency of approximately 7.83 Hertz. Coincidentally, or perhaps by design, this is the exact frequency of the human brain when it is in the theta state. Theta is the borderland of sleep, the drowsy, meditative state where we drift just before we fall under. It suggests that when we relax deeply, our brain waves slow down until they match the background hum of the planet itself. When you sleep, you are tuning your mind to the frequency of the Earth. You are synchronizing your personal rhythm with the heartbeat of the world, vibrating in perfect unison with the ground beneath you. Deep in the open ocean, where there is no solid ground to rest upon, creatures like the dolphin and the whale still find a way to dream. They have mastered a way of sleeping that allows them to drift through the water without ever sinking. This miraculous ability is called unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. Unlike humans, who shut down both sides of the brain at once, these marine travelers sleep with only one half of their brain at a time. While the left hemisphere enters a deep, restorative slumber, the right hemisphere remains gently awake, watching the currents and remembering to breathe. Then, after a few hours, they switch. The awake side finally rests, and the rested side takes over the watch. They are never fully disconnected from their world, yet they are always finding rest. It is a perfect balance of surrender and safety. They are suspended in the blue silence, rocking gently with the tide, half in the dream world and half in the ocean, always buoyant, always safe. High above the clouds, far higher than we can see from the ground, the common swift is sleeping while it flies. These birds can stay airborne for 10 months at a time, never touching the earth. How do they rest without landing? They give themselves over to the air. By finding high-altitude thermal currents, rising columns of warm air, they can stop flapping their wings and simply glide. In this state, they take hundreds of tiny micro-naps, lasting only a few seconds each, or they shut down half of their brain to coast on the wind. They do not need a nest. The sky itself becomes their bed. They trust the invisible architecture of the wind to hold them up. Imagine the feeling of total weightlessness, to sleep while floating, trusting that the air itself will carry you where you need to go. You don't need to steer, you just need to let go and ride the current. If you were to stand in the middle of a dense forest at midnight, you might feel that the trees look different than they do at noon. And you would be right. Even the trees sleep. Scientists using laser scanners have discovered that at night, trees physically relax. During the day, they pump water into their branches and leaves to hold them up toward the sun, a process created by turgor pressure. But when the sun sets, this pressure drops. The branches droop by several inches. The leaves curl inward or hang loose. It is a phenomenon called nyctinasty. The tension goes out of the wood. The majestic oak and the towering pine literally let their shoulders drop, softening their posture in the dark. The whole forest is exhaling. The rigidity of the day is gone, and the trees are standing at ease, resting their limbs in the cool, quiet air, waiting patiently for the morning light. In the cold waters of the northern Pacific, sea otters face a challenge when they sleep. The ocean currents want to pull them apart. To solve this, they have developed one of the most tender rituals in the animal kingdom. When it is time to rest, otters will float on their backs, exposing their bellies to the warm sun. To ensure they do not drift away from their family, their raft, they reach out and hold hands. They interlock their paws, creating a physical tether between them. Sometimes they will wrap themselves in long ribbons of kelp, using the seaweed as a natural anchor to the seabed. They create a floating chain of connection, bobbing gently on the surface of the swells. No matter how much the water moves, they are secure. They are anchored by touch, held in place by the presence of another, drifting together through the sea of dreams. For the great bears of the north, sleep is not just a nightly pause, it is a seasonal journey. As the snow begins to fall, they enter a state of torpor, a sleep so deep it defies the standard rules of biology. Inside the den, safe beneath the roots of an ancient tree or deep in a cave, the bear's heart rate slows from 40 beats per minute to just 8. It is a slow, rhythmic drum. Their breathing becomes almost imperceptible, occurring only once or twice a minute. Their body temperature drops, and their metabolism, the fire of life, turns down to a mere pilot light. They do not eat, they do not drink. They simply exist on the energy they have stored, trusting their body to sustain them through the long, dark months. It is the ultimate act of patience. It is a trust that the winter will end, that the cold is temporary, and that while the world freezes outside, they are warm and safe within, waiting for the spring. We think of bees as the ultimate workers, buzzing with ceaseless energy. But when the lights of the hive go down, even the busiest creatures on Earth stop to rest. Scientists observing honeybees at night have noticed a distinct change in their posture. As the hive grows quiet, the bees stop moving. They find an empty cell in the honeycomb or a quiet corner, and they simply hold on. Their antennae, usually twitching and sensing the air, droop downward. Their wings stop vibrating. Their body temperature lowers. Younger bees tend to sleep near the center of the nest, while the older foragers sleep near the edges. It is a collective stillness, thousands of tiny lives pausing in unison, holding on to the golden wax walls they have built. The buzzing stops. The work is paused. In the heart of the amber darkness, the colony breathes as one, finding peace in the safety of the home they have created together. In the open fields, you will often see horses sleeping while standing perfectly upright. It defies gravity, yet they look completely at ease, statues of muscle and grace under the moonlight. They can do this because of a brilliant anatomical feature called the stay apparatus. It is a system of ligaments and tendons that allows them to lock their leg joints into place. Once the joint is locked, the muscles can completely relax. They are not using energy to stand. They are simply resting on the pillar of their own bones. This allows them to doze off without falling, ready to move if they need to, but fully surrendered to the moment of rest. It is a perfect compromise between readiness and relaxation. They have found a way to be supported without effort, trusting their own bodies to hold them up, while their minds drift away to the green pastures of sleep. Deep underwater, the octopus is a master of disguise. But when it sleeps, it loses control of its secrets, and its dreams paint themselves onto its skin. The skin of an octopus is covered in chromatophores, tiny sacs of pigment that can expand or contract to change color. While awake, they use this to hide. But scientists have filmed octopuses sleeping, and the results are magical. As they enter REM sleep, their skin flashes with ripples of color. One moment, they are the gray of a rock, the next, the mottled brown of sand, and then the dark red of seaweed. It is believed they are dreaming of the hunt or the hide. The neural firings of their dreams are leaking out, turning their bodies into a living, breathing canvas. They are wearing their dreams. The boundary between the inner world and the outer world dissolves, and for a few moments, the beauty of their imagination is visible for all the ocean to see. In the driest deserts of the world, where water is a ghost, the desert snail has mastered the art of patience. It does not chase the rain. It simply waits, sometimes for years. When the heat becomes too much, the snail retreats into its shell. It produces a layer of dried mucus, sealing the opening shut with a watertight door. This state is called estivation, the summer version of hibernation. In this sealed chamber, the snail slows its heart to a near stop. It can remain in this suspended animation for up to 3 years, sleeping through the drought, waiting for the specific vibration of rain hitting the ground to wake it up. It is a profound trust in the future. The snail knows that the rain will eventually come. It does not panic. It merely sleeps, safe in its spiral home, knowing that its time will return when the conditions are right. The giraffe, with its towering neck, seems too large to curl up. And indeed, for most of its life, it sleeps for only a few minutes at a time. But when it feels truly safe, it performs a rare and beautiful folding. To enter deep sleep, the giraffe lowers its body to the ground, folding its long legs beneath it. Then, it arches its long neck backward, resting its head on its own hip. It turns itself into a closed circle. In this position, this massive giant looks surprisingly small and fragile. It is a posture of total trust, exposing its vulnerability to the night. Because this position takes time to get in and out of, a giraffe only does this when it feels completely secure in its surroundings. To rest deeply is an act of trust. Like the giraffe, you can only truly let go when you know you are safe. Tonight, you are safe. You can fold your wings, rest your head, and close the circle. In the sun-drenched valleys of ancient Greece, sleep was considered medicine. It was not just a way to rest, it was a ritual performed in sacred places known as the Asclepions. These were the world's first sleep clinics, dedicated to Asclepius, the god of healing. Pilgrims would travel for miles to enter these quiet, white stone temples. They would drink herbal teas, listen to the soft chanting of priests, and then lie down on the abaton, a special sleeping floor. The belief was that while the body lay still on the cool stone, the god would visit them in their dreams. He would perform surgery with invisible hands or whisper the cure into their sleeping ear. They called this incubation, the act of sleeping to be reborn. They understood something profound, that the body heals itself when the mind steps out of the way. In the silence of the temple, away from the noise of the city, the sleeper was simply giving their body permission to be whole again. To the ancient Egyptians, the moment of falling asleep was not an ending, but a release. They believed that inside every person lived a spirit called the Ba, which waited patiently for the heavy eyelids to close. In hieroglyphics, the Ba is depicted as a bird with a human head. During the day, it was tethered to the physical body, but when sleep arrived, the Ba was unchained. It would spread its wings and fly out of the body, traveling through the spirit world, visiting ancestors, or soaring over the Nile under the starlight. It was the ultimate freedom. The sleeper was not stuck in bed. They were flying on the wings of their own spirit, exploring a universe that the waking eye could never see. Sleep is a liberation. It is the time when the heavy anchor of gravity is lifted, and the part of you that is weightless is free to soar wherever it pleases. In the forests of North America, the Ojibwe people noticed the way spider webs glistened in the morning sun, catching the dew. They saw this natural filter as a symbol of protection for the sleeper. They began to weave dream catchers, willow hoops strung with sinew to mimic the pattern of a spider's web. These were hung above the cradle boards of children. The legend says that the night air is filled with dreams, both good and bad. The web acts as a sieve. The bad dreams, which are large and clumsy, get caught in the sticky net and perish when the first light of the sun hits them. But the good dreams, which are small and sleek, slip through the hole in the center. They glide down the soft feathers hanging from the hoop, dripping gently onto the sleeper below. You are protected by the filter of your own intention. The net is catching the noise, letting only the soft, sweet dreams slide down the feather to find you. The poet Homer, writing nearly 3,000 years ago, described the geography of the dream world. He said that to enter the land of sleep, one had to pass through one of two great gates. One gate was made of polished horn, and the other of shimmering ivory. The gate of ivory was beautiful but deceptive. Dreams that passed through it were mere fantasies, illusions of things that would never be. But the gate of horn was the passage of truth. Dreams that slipped through this humble gate were messages from the divine, insights into the true nature of reality. It was a poetic way of organizing the chaos of the night, giving a physical structure to the ethereal mist of our subconscious. Tonight, imagine yourself walking toward these gates. You leave the illusions behind and step through the passage of truth, entering a place of clarity and deep, honest rest. In the bustle of ancient Rome, dreams were not just personal, they were political. A dream was considered a matter of state, serious enough to pause the machinery of the empire. If a senator had a particularly vivid or symbolic dream, it was often discussed on the floor of the Roman Senate. They believed that dreams were signals from the gods regarding the future of the city. A significant dream could delay a battle, change a law, or start a festival. The Romans, known for their strict logic and engineering, still bowed their heads to the wisdom of the night. They acknowledged that there was a power in sleep that superseded the power of the gavel. Even the masters of the world respected the quiet authority of the dream. It is a reminder that the intuitive, soft voice of sleep deserves to be listened to, for it often knows things that the waking mind does not. For the indigenous people of Australia, the oldest continuous culture on Earth, dreaming is not something that happens just at night. It is a place that exists always, a parallel reality that runs beneath the surface of the world. They call it the dreaming, or dream time. It is the sacred era in which ancestral spirits moved across the land, singing the mountains, rivers, and trees into existence. But importantly, this time is not past, It is everywhere. It is happening right now. When a person sleeps, they are not escaping reality. They are returning to this eternal source. They are stepping back into the stream of creation where the ancestors still walk. The land itself is a sleeping giant, and by dreaming, you are connecting your spirit to the spirit of the earth. You are never truly alone when you sleep. You are stepping into a timeless river, a current of life that flows through the land, connecting the past, the present, and the future in one peaceful circle. If you lived 500 years ago, your night would have looked very different. The 8 hours of sleep we strive for today is a modern invention. Our ancestors slept in 2 distinct chapters. Historians call this biphasic sleep. At dusk, families would go to bed for the first sleep. Then, around midnight, the whole world would wake up. For an hour or so, in the quiet, candle-lit darkness, they would stay awake. They would pray, read, tend the fire, or simply talk softly to their loved ones. It was a time of immense peace, a private hour between the 2 halves of the night. Then they would drift back into the second sleep until morning. There is no wrong way to sleep. If you wake in the night, do not worry. You are simply remembering an ancient rhythm, a quiet intermission that your ancestors enjoyed for centuries. In the folklore of Japan, there is a gentle creature that watches over the sleeper, ready to help if the night becomes too heavy. It is a chimera, a mix of elephant, tiger, and ox, known as the Baku. The Baku is a benevolent spirit with a very specific diet. It eats nightmares. If a child woke from a bad dream, they would whisper into the darkness 3 times, "Baku-san, come eat my dream." The legend says the Baku would quietly enter the room and inhale the frightening images, consuming them completely so they could never return. However, the Baku was polite. It would only take the bad dreams, leaving the good dreams and the peaceful rest behind. You can let go of your worries. Imagine them dissolving into the air, consumed by the protective spirits of the night, leaving your mind clean, empty, and ready for peace. In the Odyssey, weary sailors land on an island where the air is sweet with the scent of a mysterious blossom. It is the land of the lotus eaters, a place where sleep is more precious than gold. The lotus, described in the myth, was likely the blue water lily of the Nile, a flower known for its mild, sedative properties. In the story, those who tasted the flower lost their desire to return to the noisy, busy world of their home. They forgot their troubles, their wars, and their schedules. They simply wanted to stay on the beach, watching the waves, and drifting in a state of blissful, drowsy contentment. While the myth frames this as a danger to the hero, for the tired soul, it represents the ultimate vacation. Tonight, you have arrived at that island. The ship has stopped. The work is done. You can taste the lotus of sleep and forget the way back to the waking world for a while. During the Renaissance, alchemists spent their lives trying to turn lead into gold, but many also believed that sleep was a form of alchemy for the human mind. They viewed the waking state as lead-heavy, dull, and burdened by the friction of the world. Sleep was the crucible. They believed that when the body lay still, the spirit was distilled. The impurities of anger, jealousy, and exhaustion were burned away by the heat of the inner soul. This is why we say we feel good as new in the morning. We have undergone a transmutation. We went to bed as heavy lead, and we wake up as bright, shining gold. You are in the crucible now. The transformation has begun. Just by lying here, you are turning the heaviness of today into the brightness of tomorrow. There is a curious debate that has lasted for decades. Do we dream in color or in black and white? The answer, strangely enough, seems to depend on the screen you grew up watching. In the first half of the 20th century, when cinema and television were monochrome, the majority of people reported dreaming in shades of gray. Their subconscious minds mimicked the media they consumed. But as the world moved into the era of Technicolor and high-definition screens, our dreams followed suit. Today, nearly 80% of people dream in vivid, saturated color. The brain is a sponge for visual texture. It soaks up the emerald greens of the forest and the deep azures of the ocean, storing them away to paint the night in brilliant hues. Your mind is an artist with an infinite palette. Tonight, it is mixing the most beautiful colors it has ever seen, preparing to splash them across the canvas of your sleep. In your dreams, you often meet people you do not recognize, strange faces that seem to belong to no one. But here is the secret. Your brain cannot invent a face. Every stranger you meet in a dream is actually someone you have already seen. It might be the woman who passed you on a busy street 3 years ago, or a face in the background of a photograph you glanced at once. Your mind captures these fleeting images and stores them in a vast, dusty archive of characters. When you sleep, the brain plays the role of a casting director. It pulls these extras from the library of your memory and gives them a role in the night's production. You are never truly among strangers. Even in the deepest dream, you are surrounded by the familiar ghosts of your own life. A quiet reunion of everyone you have ever noticed. If you want to know if you are dreaming right now, try to read a sentence. In the waking world, words stay still. But in the dream world, text is a slippery, shapeless thing. Reading requires a specific part of the brain, often the Wernicke's area, to decode symbols into meaning. During REM sleep, this logical center is largely deactivated. Because of this, the brain struggles to hold the shape of letters. You might look at a clock, look away, and look back to find the numbers have melted or changed completely. A street sign might blur into hieroglyphics. The dream world is a place of intuition and feeling, not of rigid definitions. You do not need to analyze. You do not need to read the fine print. In this place, you can simply understand without words, letting the feeling of the moment guide you. There is a common dream sensation where you try to run, but your legs feel like they are moving through molasses. Or you try to shout, but only a whisper comes out. While this can feel frustrating, it is actually a safety feature. This is the sensation of your mind noticing that your body is asleep. To prevent you from physically acting out your dreams, kicking the wall or jumping out of bed, the brainstem releases a neurotransmitter called glycine. This chemical acts as a gate, blocking the signals from the brain to the spine. Your muscles are effectively turned off. When you dream of running slowly, it is your mind vaguely sensing this real-world stillness. It is a feedback loop of protection. The slowness is safety. Your body is anchored deep in the harbor, heavy and secure, ensuring that while your spirit races across the universe, your physical self remains resting in peace. Have you ever woken up from a dream, feeling an emotion more intensely than you ever do in real life? A joy that feels boundless, or a love that feels ancient. This happens because of a shift in power within the brain. During REM sleep, the prefrontal cortex, the CEO of the brain, responsible for logic and restraint, goes offline. At the same time, the amygdala, the center of raw emotion, lights up with activity. Without the logic filter to dampen things down, feelings flow in their purest, unadulterated form. There is no skepticism to hold them back. You feel with your whole heart. This is a release. It is your heart stretching its legs, feeling the full range of its capacity without the constraints of reason. It is a pure, unblocked flow of spirit. In the waking world, a door always leads to the next room. But in the dream world, you might turn the handle of your bedroom door and step out onto a sun-drenched beach or into a childhood classroom. The geography of the dream is impossible, yet you never question it while you are there. This happens because the brain's spatial binding system is loose during sleep. The hippocampus, which stores memories of places, does not organize them on a grid of miles and meters. Instead, it connects places by feeling. If your kitchen feels safe and your grandmother's house feels safe, the brain might stitch them together into a single, seamless room. The walls are not made of brick. They are made of association. You are navigating a map of your own emotions. The world is pliable here. There are no borders, no locked gates, and no distances too far to travel. You can be everywhere you love, all in a single moment. If you think back to your dreams, they are often filled with vivid sights and loud sounds, but it is very rare to remember a smell from a dream. The dream world is a place of remarkably clean air. This is due to a quirk in our neurology. Most of our senses, sight, sound, touch, are routed through the thalamus, the brain's central switchboard, which is active during sleep. However, the sense of smell, governed by the olfactory bulb, takes a different, more direct path to the brain. During REM sleep, this pathway is often dormant. It means that the dreamscape is a sensory environment that is stripped of the earthiness of odors. It is a sterile, pristine projection of reality. You are walking through a world that is pure and uncluttered. It is a visual and auditory sanctuary, washed clean of the complexities of the physical atmosphere. We often equate dreaming with seeing images. But for those who have been blind since birth, the dream world is not dark. It is an incredibly rich, vibrant tapestry woven from sound, touch, and temperature. Studies show that the blind possess a unique dream architecture. Their auditory and tactile cortices, the parts of the brain that process sound and touch, fire with extraordinary intensity during sleep. They might dream of the specific warmth of the sun on their skin, the distinct texture of a stone wall, or the melody of a voice, all amplified to a level of clarity that sighted people rarely experience. Their brains construct a 3D world that is felt rather than seen. It is a reminder that the mind does not need eyes to see. It can build a universe out of feelings, echoes, and warmth, proving that the light we see by comes from within, not without. Sometimes, in the middle of a dream, your perspective shifts. You are no longer looking through your own eyes. Instead, you are floating nearby, watching yourself act out the scene like a character in a movie. This is known as the observer perspective. It occurs when the brain's self-awareness center detaches slightly from the sensory center. It creates a gentle dissociation. The ego, the part of you that says, "I am here," softens its grip. You become the audience of your own life. This perspective often brings a sense of calm detachment. You are not in the drama, you are simply witnessing it, safe from the emotional impact of the events. You are viewing yourself with compassion. From this distance, you can see your own life as a story, watching the character of you with a kind and gentle gaze. We have all had the experience of waking up from a dream that felt like it lasted a lifetime, an epic journey of days or weeks, only to look at the clock and realize we were asleep for just 20 minutes. In the dream world, time is not a ticking clock, it is a narrative tool. The brain is an expert editor. Just as a movie cuts out the boring parts of a drive to get to the destination, the dreaming mind skips the linear progression of time. It jumps from one significant moment to the next. The neurotransmitters that track the passage of seconds are offline. A single neuron firing can represent an hour or a year. You are living at the speed of thought, not the speed of the earth. You are a time traveler. In the safety of your bed, you can live 1,000 lives, explore 1,000 years, and return home before the sun comes up, rested and filled with memories. In the mid-19th century, an inventor named Elias Howe was consumed by a single, frustrating problem. He was trying to invent the sewing machine, but he could not figure out how to make the needle work. Logic had failed him. But one night, the answer came to him in a nightmare. In his dream, he was in a strange, foreign land, surrounded by warriors who commanded him to finish his machine immediately. When he couldn't, they raised their spears. But as the spears came closer, time slowed down. Howe noticed something peculiar. The spears did not have solid tips. Instead, each spearhead was pierced with a hole at the very point. He woke with a start, and the realization washed over him. He had been putting the hole at the top of the needle, like a hand sewing needle, but the machine needed the hole at the tip. The solution was waiting in the subconscious. When his thinking mind finally let go of the struggle, his dreaming mind stepped in, painting the answer on the canvas of a dream. The universe is made of building blocks, but for a long time we didn't know how they fit together. In 1869, the Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev had been working for 3 days without sleep, trying to organize the chemical elements. Exhausted, he finally collapsed onto his desk and fell into a deep slumber. In the silence of that room, his brain began to shuffle the cards. He later wrote, "I saw in a dream a table where all the elements fell into place as required." In the dream, the chaotic list of atoms danced and swirled until they settled into perfect rows and columns, ordered by their atomic weight. He woke up and immediately wrote it down on a piece of paper. It became the periodic table of elements, the map of the universe we still use today. The chaos resolved itself in the quiet. While he rested, his mind built a structure of perfect harmony, organizing the very fabric of reality into a beautiful, logical song. On a stormy night in 1816, near Lake Geneva, a young woman named Mary Shelley was trying to think of a ghost story. She struggled for hours, her mind blank. It was only when she went to bed, entering that strange state between waking and sleeping, that the vision arrived. She described it as a waking dream. With her eyes closed, she saw a pale student of unhallowed arts kneeling beside the thing he had put together. She saw the hideous phantasm of a man stretch out, and then, on the working of some powerful engine, show signs of life. The image was so vivid, so terrifyingly real, that it jolted her awake. That dream became Frankenstein, one of the most enduring stories in human history. Her imagination was unlocked by the key of sleep. In the safety of her bed, she was able to peer into the shadowed corners of creativity, bringing back a story that would live forever. One morning, Paul McCartney woke up in a London flat with a melody playing in his head. It was a complete tune, sad and beautiful, echoing as if a radio had been left on in his mind. He hurried to the piano by his bedside and played the notes. It felt so familiar, so perfect, that he was convinced he was remembering an old jazz standard. For weeks, he played it for friends, asking, "Do you know this song? Is this yours?" But no one had heard it. The song had been composed entirely during his REM cycle, a gift from his own sleeping brain. He eventually wrote lyrics to it, and it became the song "Yesterday," the most covered song in the history of music. It was a gift from the silence. The music was already inside him, waiting for the noise of the world to die down, so it could finally be heard. Chemistry is often about shapes. In the 1860s, Friedrich Kekulé was trying to determine the structure of benzene, a molecule that defied the rules of the time. He sat by the fire, dozing off, watching the flames dance. As his eyes grew heavy, the flames began to take the shape of atoms. They linked together, moving like snakes, twisting and turning. Suddenly, one of the snakes seized its own tail, forming a spinning ring. Kekulé woke up as if struck by lightning. He realized the molecule wasn't a line, it was a ring, a hexagon. This discovery revolutionized organic chemistry. He had dreamt of the Ouroboros, an ancient symbol of eternity, and it held the secret to modern science. The answers we seek are often ancient. When we close our eyes, we tap into a timeless wisdom, a visual language that speaks in circles, connecting the end to the beginning. In the early 20th century, a young mathematician named Srinivasa Ramanujan astonished the world with formulas that seemed to come from nowhere. He had no formal training, yet he produced mathematics so advanced that scholars are still decoding it today. When asked how he did it, he pointed to his sleep. Ramanujan claimed that he did not think of the equations in the traditional sense. Instead, they were given to him in the quiet of the night. He spoke of a Hindu goddess, Namagiri Tayar, who would visit him in his dreams. He described seeing a red screen flowing before his eyes, like a scroll unrolling in the dark. On this screen, complex mathematical formulas would write themselves out in glowing light. He was merely the scribe, waking up in the morning to frantically copy down the divine geometry he had been shown before it faded. It suggests that knowledge is not always something we must hunt for. Sometimes, if we are quiet enough, the universe simply opens its hands and reveals its secrets to us. We all learn in school that the atom looks like a tiny solar system, with electrons orbiting the nucleus like planets around a sun. But this image wasn't discovered in a lab. It was discovered in a dream. The physicist Niels Bohr was struggling to understand the structure of the atom. The data didn't make sense. One night, he fell into a fitful sleep and dreamt he was sitting on a burning sun. Around him, planets were whistling through the dark, attached to the sun by thin, invisible threads. They spun in perfect, rhythmic circles. When he woke up, the analogy struck him. The electrons were not random. They were held in fixed orbits. This planetary model became the foundation of modern quantum physics. The vastness of space and the tininess of the atom are mirrors of each other. In his sleep, Bohr saw that the smallest things in existence follow the same beautiful dance as the largest stars. In 1996, a university student named Larry Page woke up with a sensation of anxiety. He had a vivid, strange dream that he could download the entire internet onto his computer and just keep the links. Most people would have shaken off such a strange idea and gone back to sleep. But Page sat up. the dream was visually specific. He saw the connections between web pages not as a list, but as a web, a map of citations. He grabbed a pen and spent the middle of the night scribbling out the math for an algorithm that would rank pages based on how many other pages linked to them. That midnight scribble became the foundation of Google. The tool that organizes the world's information was born in the chaos of a dream. It reminds us that even the most complex structures begin as a single, fleeting image in a sleeping mind. In the 18th century, the composer Giuseppe Tartini had a dream that would haunt the world of classical music forever. He dreamt that a mysterious figure visited him, picked up his violin, and began to play. Tartini described the music as singularly beautiful and executed with such superior taste and precision that it surpassed all he had ever heard or conceived in his life. He lay there in his dream, breathless, enchanted by the virtuoso performance. The moment he woke, he grabbed his own violin, trying to catch the fading echo of the melody. Although he said the music he wrote down was only a shadow of what he heard in the dream, it became the Devil's Trill Sonata, considered one of the most difficult and beautiful pieces ever written. The music came from within him, yet it felt like a gift from outside. It is a testament to the fact that our inner potential is far greater and far more beautiful than we realize. The writer John Steinbeck, who penned some of the greatest American novels, did not believe in forcing a solution. He believed in a group of invisible helpers he called the committee. He famously wrote, "It is a common experience that a problem difficult at night is resolved in the morning after the committee of sleep has worked on it." He viewed his sleep not as a shutdown, but as a handover. He would assign a problem to his subconscious before closing his eyes, trusting that while he rested, the silent machinery of his mind would sort, file, and solve the issue. He treated sleep as a trusted partner, a silent collaborator that worked the night shift. You have your own committee. Tonight, you can lay your burdens down on the desk of your mind, trust them to the silence, and know that they will be taken care of while you drift away. Imagine your mind as a bustling library. During the day, books are pulled off the shelves, left on tables, and stacked in messy piles on the front desk. If they stayed there, the library would become chaotic. But at night, the librarian arrives to tidy up. This is the specific work of the hippocampus and the neocortex. During the day, your experiences are stored in the hippocampus, a small, temporary storage area. It is like a short-term RAM that fills up quickly. But while you sleep, specifically during deep, slow-wave sleep, a transfer occurs. The brain moves these memories from the temporary desk of the hippocampus to the vast, permanent archives of the neocortex. It carefully files away the important moments, your child's laughter, a lesson learned, securing them in the long-term vaults of your mind. Your life is being chronicled. Every precious moment you want to keep is being written into the permanent story of who you are, safely stored away where it can never be lost. To remember is a blessing, but to forget is a necessity. If we remembered every single leaf on every tree we passed today, our minds would be overgrown jungles, impossible to navigate. Sleep provides the solution through a process of gentle subtraction. This is known as synaptic pruning. While you sleep, the brain's maintenance cells, microglia, scan the neural connections you made during the day. They look for the weak, unimportant pathways, the color of a stranger's shirt, the license plate of a car, the background noise of the street. Finding these useless weeds, the brain gently dissolves the connections. It clears away the mental clutter, shrinking the synapses that don't matter so that the ones that do matter can stand out more clearly. It is a cleaning of the slate. You are being unburdened of the unnecessary, leaving your mind spacious, tidy, and ready to receive the fresh sunlight of a new day. There is an old saying that time heals all wounds, but neuroscientists believe it is actually dreaming that does the healing. Sleep acts as a nocturnal therapy session, taking the sharp edges off our difficult emotions. During REM sleep, your brain replays the emotional memories of the day, but with one crucial difference. The stress chemical, noradrenaline, is completely shut off. It is the only time in the 24-hour cycle that your brain is free of this anxiety molecule. This allows you to process upsetting memories in a chemically safe environment. You can review the memory without feeling the visceral sting of the pain. It turns a jagged, painful rock into a smooth piece of sea glass. The hurt is being washed clean. You are digesting the heavy feelings of yesterday so that when you wake up, they feel distant, manageable, and soft. Have you ever struggled to learn a piano piece or a dance move, only to wake up the next morning able to perform it perfectly? It feels like magic, but it is actually practice. This phenomenon involves sleep spindles, quick bursts of brain activity that occur in stage 2 sleep. During these bursts, your brain is literally replaying the motor patterns you tried to learn during the day. It fires the same sequence of neurons, but at high speed, repeating the lesson thousands of times in the dark. It is cementing the muscle memory. It is knitting the skill into your nervous system so that it becomes second nature. You are improving without effort. While your body lies completely still, you are becoming smarter, faster, and more skilled, mastering the art of living while you rest. The waking mind thinks in straight lines, but the sleeping mind thinks in webs. It is during sleep that we find the hidden connections between things that seem completely unrelated. When the logical control centers of the brain shut down, the associative networks light up. The brain takes a new piece of information, something you learned today, and wanders through the archives of your past, looking for a match. It connects the new face to an old name. It connects a new problem to an ancient solution. This is why we say, "I'll sleep on it." We are waiting for the brain to weave a golden thread between the question and the answer. The puzzle is being solved for you. The missing pieces are drifting together in the dark, forming a complete and beautiful picture that will be waiting for you when you open your eyes. Have you ever walked into a room or had a conversation and felt a sudden, strange shiver of familiarity? The sensation of déjà vu, the feeling that "I have been here before," is a mystery that often traces its roots back to the night. One theory suggests that this eerie feeling occurs because your sleeping brain is a simulator. At night, the mind does not just look backward at the past, it looks forward. It runs prospective memory scenarios, subtly rehearsing future possibilities based on patterns it knows. It imagines the room, the conversation, or the feeling. When you eventually encounter that moment in real life, your brain recognizes the simulation it ran in the dark. You feel you have been there before because, in the quiet theater of your dreams, you have. It is a sign that you are in sync with your own life. Your mind has already scouted the path ahead, preparing you for the moments to come, so you can walk through them with the confidence of someone returning home. In the late 19th century, a psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus discovered a harsh truth about the human mind: the forgetting curve. He found that memories leak away like water through cupped hands. But he also found the only thing that stops the flow: If you stay awake after learning something, you will lose nearly 40% of that information within a few hours. The noise of new sensory input washes the old memories away. But if you sleep immediately after learning, the curve flattens. Sleep acts as a sealant. It locks the chemical changes in the neurons, turning a fragile, fleeing thought into a solid, structural change in the brain. It builds a dam that holds the waters of memory still. You do not need to hold on tight. You do not need to repeat the words over and over. You simply need to rest. The sleep will hold it all for you, keeping your treasures safe until you wake. If you could see the electricity in your brain while you slept, you would see a replay of your day, but it would look different. It would be a lightning-fast echo of your own footsteps. Scientists discovered this by watching the brains of sleeping rats who had run a maze earlier that day. In the silence of sleep, the exact same neurons that fired during the run fired again. But in the dream state, they fired 20 times faster. The brain was rewinding the tape and playing it back at high speed over and over again. It traces the path of the day, burning the route into the neural circuitry, so that the next time you run the maze of life, you can do it without thinking. Your journey is being etched into you. Every step you took today is being reinforced, ensuring that the wisdom you gained is not just a memory, but a part of your very instinct. We have all experienced the frustration of a name or a word being on the tip of the tongue. We strain to reach it, but it remains just out of grasp. Yet, often, after a good night's sleep, the word is waiting there for us with the morning coffee. When you are awake, your brain is busy processing the now, the traffic, the noise, the lights. It has no energy to spare for deep searching. But during sleep, the sensory inputs are cut. The brain can finally divert its energy to the archives. It sends out search parties into the deeper, dustier corridors of your memory network. Unencumbered by the noise of the present, it finds the missing connection and places it gently on the shelf of your conscious mind, ready for you to pick up. The answer is already within you. You do not need to struggle or force it. Let the quiet waters of sleep rise, and they will naturally float the truth up to the surface. Your memory is not a camera that records everything equally. If it were, you would remember the shape of every cloud you saw 10 years ago. Instead, your brain edits the movie of your life, choosing what to keep. This editing process is guided by the amygdala, the emotional center. During sleep, the amygdala works with the memory centers to tag certain events. It marks the moments that made you laugh, cry, or feel loved with a chemical highlighter. It says, keep this one, discard the rest. This is why you remember the feeling of your first kiss, but not the color of the shoes you wore that day. Sleep sorts the gold from the sand. Your mind is curating a gallery of meaning. It is quietly filtering out the noise of the world, leaving you with a collection of memories that truly matter, a museum of the heart. There is a rare and magical moment that can happen to any sleeper. You are walking through a dream, perhaps, through a house you lived in as a child, or a forest that glows when suddenly a realization washes over you like a cool breeze. I am dreaming. This is the spark of lucid dreaming. In a normal dream, the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for self-awareness and logic, is asleep. You accept the strange events without question. But in a lucid dream, this specific part of the brain flickers back to life. You enter a hybrid state of consciousness. You are physically asleep, yet mentally awake. You are the architect of the reality around you. The walls, the sky, and the gravity are no longer fixed. They are fluid, waiting for your command. It is the ultimate freedom. In this space, you are safe from all harm, yet free to explore any horizon. You are the director of your own private movie, able to yell "cut" or "action" whenever you please. Travelers of the dream world often use a simple, secret technique to find out if they are awake or asleep. It is a small ritual, a question asked to the silence. Is this real? This is called a reality check. The most common method involves looking at your own hands. In the physical world, your hands are stable and constant, but in the fluid world of a dream, the brain struggles to maintain a static image. If you look at your hands in a dream, you might see 6 fingers, or they might change shape, or glow with a strange light. Another check is to push a finger against your palm. In a dream, the atoms often part like mist, and your finger will pass right through your hand. By questioning your reality, you find clarity. It is a gentle reminder that the world around you is softer than it seems, a projection that you can observe with curiosity and wonder. It is the oldest wish of the human heart, to lift our feet from the ground and soar into the clouds. While gravity binds us during the day, the night offers us a loophole. The sensation of flying in a dream is incredibly vivid, often feeling more real than running. This happens because during REM sleep, your body is paralyzed, but your inner ear is still active. Without the feedback of pressure on your feet or the weight of your limbs, your brain interprets this lack of sensory input as floating. When you dream of flying, you are not fighting gravity. You are simply experiencing the natural weightlessness of your sleeping body, untethered from the earth. You have broken the chains of the earth. You are lighter than air, drifting over the landscapes of your imagination, carried by a wind that knows exactly where you want to go. Sometimes the mind plays a gentle trick. You dream that you have woken up. You get out of bed, you brush your teeth, you start your morning coffee, only to wake up again in your real bed. This phenomenon is known as a false awakening. It is a testament to the brain's incredible power of simulation. Your mind knows your routine so well, the sunlight on the floor, the texture of the toothbrush, that it can recreate it with perfect fidelity. It is a dress rehearsal for the morning. The brain is so ready to start the day that it begins the process before the body has actually opened its eyes. It is like a Russian nesting doll of rest. You are sleeping so deeply that you are wrapped in layers of dreams, a soft cocoon within a cocoon, protected by the depth of your slumber. For those who become aware they are dreaming, there is often a risk. The excitement can wake them up. The dream world begins to blur and fade like a painting left out in the rain. But there is a way to stay. Lucid dreamers use a technique called stabilization. If the dream starts to collapse, they spin their dream body around in circles, or they rub their dream hands together. This creates a flood of sensory information, the feeling of friction, the sensation of motion. This sensory input tricks the brain into focusing back on the dream body rather than the physical body lying in bed. The image sharpens, the colors return, the dream becomes solid again. You can ground yourself even in the clouds. By focusing on the feeling of the moment, you can prolong the magic, staying in the sanctuary of the dream for as long as you wish. In the waking world, A minute is always 60 seconds. It is a rigid, ticking cage. But in the lucid dream, time is made of rubber. It stretches and bends, allowing you to experience hours of adventure in what is physically only a few minutes of sleep. This is a phenomenon known as time dilation. Because the dream world does not rely on sensory input from the outside, the brain is not bound by the speed of physical events. It processes information at the speed of thought. Just as a computer can unzip a massive file in seconds, your mind can unpack a complex narrative in moments. You can live a whole day, watch a sunset, and sail across an ocean, only to wake up and find that the alarm clock has barely moved. You have stepped out of the river of time. You are resting on the bank, watching the water flow by, able to live a lifetime of moments in the span of a single peaceful night. It is a strange and comforting thought that at this very moment, someone on the other side of the world is likely dreaming of the exact same thing you are. There are images that belong to no single person, but to the human species as a whole. The psychologist Carl Jung called this the collective unconscious. He believed that just as we inherit our physical features, like 2 eyes and 10 fingers, we also inherit mental forms. These are archetypes. The deep ocean, the towering house, the sensation of flying, the wise old figure. These symbols are preloaded into our operating system. When you dream of a great flood or a dark forest, you are accessing a shared library of human experience that has been built over thousands of years. You are never dreaming alone. You are tapping into an ancient, shared story, weaving your own thread into the great, timeless tapestry of human imagination. If you happen to find a mirror in a lucid dream, you may notice something peculiar. When you look into the glass, the face staring back at you might be younger, older, or perhaps not a face at all, but a swirl of light. In the physical world, a mirror relies on the physics of light bouncing off a surface. In the dream world, the mirror is a projection of your own self-perception. The brain struggles to render a perfect, static 3D reflection of the self because, in a dream, your sense of self is fluid. You are pure consciousness, not a solid body. Therefore, the mirror reflects your inner state rather than your outer shell. It shows you how you feel, not just how you look. The glass shows the truth of the spirit. It is a reminder that you are more than just a face or a body. You are a shifting, changing, living energy that cannot be contained by a simple reflection. For those who wish to conquer a fear, perhaps a fear of public speaking or a fear of heights, the lucid dream offers the perfect, padded room. It is a laboratory where you can run experiments without any risk. Therapists and athletes alike use this space for rehearsal. Because the brain fires the same neural pathways when you imagine doing something as when you actually do it, practicing in a dream is biologically effective. You can give that speech to a crowd of thousands in your dream. If you stumble, you can simply rewind the dream and try again. The brain learns the confidence, and the nervous system learns the calmness, which remains with you when you wake up. It is a place of infinite second chances. There is no failure here, only practice. You can grow, learn, and become stronger, all while resting safely in the comfort of your bed. You do not have to be a passive passenger in the night. Before you drift off, you have the power to place an order with the kitchen of your subconscious. You can choose where you want to go. This technique is called dream incubation. As you lie in the dark, just before sleep takes you, you repeat a gentle mantra or visualize a specific image, a person you want to see, a place you want to visit. This is planting the seed. By holding this thought as the last thing in your conscious mind, you prioritize it for the brain to process. Like a drop of ink in a glass of water, this intention diffuses through your sleep, coloring the dreams that follow. You are the gardener of your own mind. You can plant seeds of peace, adventure, or love, and trust that the fertile soil of sleep will grow them into beautiful forests by morning. Just as there is a twilight zone when we fall asleep, there is a mirror image that greets us when we wake. It is a soft, fuzzy borderland where the dream world and the real world briefly touch hands. Scientists call this state hypnopompia. It is the opposite of the journey you took last night. Instead of your senses dissolving, they are slowly reassembling. The sounds of the room, the birds outside, the hum of the city begin to filter back in, mixing with the fading images of your dreams. Your brain is bridging the gap, weaving the logic of the day into the creativity of the night. It is a moment of pure potential, where you are suspended between two realities, holding the keys to both. There is no rush to cross this bridge. It is a gentle landing strip, allowing you to drift slowly back to yourself, carrying the peace of the night into the morning light. Long before you open your eyes, and long before the alarm clock rings, your body knows that the dawn is coming. It begins to prepare a secret energy reserve for you. About 30 to 45 minutes before you naturally wake up, your pituitary gland sends a signal to your adrenal glands. They release a surge of cortisol. Not the stress kind, but the energy kind. It is the cortisol awakening response. It acts like a biological starter motor. It raises your blood sugar slightly to give you fuel. It increases your heart rate just enough to get the blood moving. Your body is physically warming up the engine, so that when you decide to rise, the energy is already there, waiting for you. You are being prepared. The body is anticipating the day for you, ensuring that you have the strength you need before you even lift your head from the pillow. We often fight the feeling of grogginess when we first wake up, wishing we could snap to attention instantly. But that heavy, slow feeling is actually a protective mechanism. This is known as sleep inertia. When you wake, your brainstem is active, but your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part, takes about 15 minutes to fully boot up. The brain retains some of the adenosine to prevent you from making sudden, jerky movements before your coordination is ready. It is a deliberate, slow start system. It forces you to take a moment, to sit on the edge of the bed, and to enter the world gradually, rather than jarringly. The heaviness is a lingering embrace. It is sleep holding on to you for just a few moments longer, making sure you are steady before it finally lets go. Have you ever woken up with a vivid dream in your mind, only to feel it slip away like water through your fingers within seconds? By the time you reach the bathroom, it is gone. This dream amnesia is chemical. During sleep, the neurotransmitters responsible for creating long-term memories, specifically norepinephrine, are at very low levels. As you wake up and these chemicals rush back in to help you focus on the day, they wash away the fragile electrical traces of the dream. The slate is wiped clean. The brain decides that the dream has served its purpose. The emotion has been processed, and the story is no longer needed. It is a clearing of the desk. The mind is making space for the new memories you will create today, ensuring you start the morning with a clean, empty page. Throughout the deep night, you have been cool, hibernating in the lowest temperatures of your circadian rhythm. But as the sun rises, so do you. Biologically, waking up is a thermal event. As the morning light hits the receptors in your skin and eyes, your core body temperature begins its ascent. The heat moves from your core out to your extremities. Your hands and feet get warmer. This rising temperature is the signal that turns on your metabolism. It is the internal hearth fire being stoked. The enzymes in your stomach, the muscles in your legs, and the neurons in your brain all wake up as the heat returns. You are rising with the sun. The warmth of the day is mirroring the warmth inside you, a synchronized kindling of life that happens every single morning. This brings us to the end of the 10-chapter journey we outlined. Almost every creature on Earth, from the house cat to the human, performs the exact same ritual the moment they wake up. We stretch our limbs outward, arch our backs, and yawn. It feels like a luxury, but it is actually a biological reset button. Scientists call this pandiculation. While you sleep, your muscles remain in a fixed, shortened position for hours. They become stiff and chemically quiet. The morning stretch is a way of recalibrating the system. By forcefully extending your muscles, you are sending a massive wake-up signal to the nervous system. You are resetting the resting length of the muscle fibers and flushing them with fresh blood. It is the body's way of running a systems check, ensuring that the machinery of movement is online and ready to go. It is an expanding of your boundaries. You are physically taking up space again, claiming your place in the world after shrinking into the safety of sleep. The most powerful alarm clock in the world is not sound, it is color. Specifically, the color blue. As you open your eyes, even if the sky is gray, your brain is hunting for a specific wavelength of light. Hidden in your retina are special cells that have nothing to do with vision. They contain a pigment called melanopsin, which is exquisitely sensitive to blue light. When the morning light hits these cells, they send an immediate message to the pineal gland. Stop. The production of melatonin is instantly halted. The sleep hormone evaporates and the brain shifts into daytime mode. It is a chemical switch flipped by the sky itself. You are solar-powered. The simple act of opening your curtains connects you to the star we orbit, syncing your internal rhythm with the light of the universe. There is a distinct clarity to the morning mind. Problems that seemed insurmountable at midnight often seem simple, or even trivial at 7 a.m. This is not just a change in mood, it is a change in chemistry. During the waking hours, your brain builds up a chemical called adenosine, the pressure of fatigue. It clouds your thinking and slows your reactions. But after a full night of sleep, that chemical pressure has been completely scrubbed away. The receptors in your brain are clean. You are operating with a fresh tank of neurotransmitters. The emotional fog has lifted because the biology that caused it has been metabolized and washed away. You have been reset. You are not dragging yesterday behind you. You are starting with a brand new capacity to think, to feel, and to be. As you lie there for the final few moments, looking at the ceiling, there is a lingering sense of peace. You have survived the night. You have traversed the dark and returned unscathed. In primitive times, sleep was the most dangerous thing a human could do. To lie unconscious in the dark was a massive risk. Waking up is the biological confirmation of safety. Your parasympathetic nervous system, the system of calm, often lingers for these first few minutes. It is a reward mechanism. The body acknowledges that the sanctuary held, the tribe protected you, and the danger did not come. You are secure. The night has kept its promise to release you. and the day has kept its promise to return. You can rise, knowing that you are safe in the cycle of time. We end where we began, at the threshold. You are no longer asleep, but not yet fully caught up in the rush of the world. You are standing in the doorway of the present moment. This final state is the default mode network of the brain coming back online. The you that is a doctor, a teacher, a parent, or a friend is slowly booting up. But for a split second before those labels return, you are simply a breathing, living awareness. You are pure potential. The day has not yet written its demands on you. You are holding the pen, ready to write the first sentence of a new story. The journey of sleep is complete. You have rested, you have healed, and you have traveled through the universe of your mind. Now, the world awaits your return. We will now begin of the script. To keep the journey fresh, we will introduce sleep that explore different dimensions of rest, ranging from the sleep of astronauts in zero gravity to the microscopic slumber of seeds and the ancient myths of the night. We begin with sleep, exploring how sleep exists in the vast silence of the cosmos. Imagine sleeping without a pillow, without a mattress, and without any weight pressing against your back. For the astronauts aboard the International Space Station, sleep is a true act of flotation. In zero gravity, the body does not need support. There is no up or down. Astronauts simply zip themselves into sleeping bags attached to the wall, not to hold them up, but to keep them from drifting into ventilation fans. In this state, the body finds its natural, neutral posture. The spine elongates, the arms float up in front of the chest, and the head nods forward. They are suspended in the air, cocooned in a sleeping bag, orbiting the Earth at 17,000 miles per hour, yet wrapped in total stillness. It is the ultimate surrender to the void. There is no pressure on the body, no heaviness in the limbs. You are simply existing, weightless and free, held in the arms of gravity's absence. On Earth, we are used to the rhythm of day and night switching every 12 hours. But in the deep universe, there are planets that sleep forever. This phenomenon is called tidal locking. It happens when a planet orbits its star so closely that gravity locks its rotation. One side of the planet faces the star eternally, baking in endless day. The other side faces out into the blackness of space, frozen in an eternal, unchanging night. On the dark side of these worlds, the sun never rises, the stars never fade. It is a hemisphere of permanent midnight, a landscape of ice and silence that has remained undisturbed for billions of years. There is a quiet stability in the cosmos. Far away, there are places where the noise of the day never comes, where the peace of the night is as solid and permanent as the ground itself. Even the stars themselves, those great engines of fire and light, have a cycle of rest. Our own sun is not a constant inferno. It breathes in a rhythm of 11 years. Scientists track this through sunspots. At the height of its activity, the sun is covered in magnetic storms and flares. But then, the cycle turns downward toward the solar minimum. The storms vanish. The surface becomes quiet and smooth. The magnetic energy calms down. The star enters a period of dormancy, radiating a steady, gentle light without the violent outbursts of its active phase. It is a stellar nap, a period of calm that affects the weather of the entire solar system. Even the source of all energy needs to rest. If the sun is allowed to have quiet years, to slow down and find its balance, then surely you are allowed to have a quiet night. The universe is not silent. If you could hear with the ears of a radio telescope, you would hear a faint, static hiss coming from every direction of the sky, day and night. This is the cosmic microwave background radiation. It is the afterglow of the Big Bang, the oldest light in the universe, stretched out over 13.8 billion years until it became sound waves. It is a uniform, constant hum that fills the empty space between the galaxies. It is the background temperature of existence, vibrating at just a few degrees above absolute zero. It is the static purr of creation, a noise that has never stopped since the moment time began. You are sleeping in a room filled with the echo of the beginning. The universe is singing a low, steady note, a white noise that wraps around the earth like a blanket of time. There are places in the universe where gravity is so strong that even light, the fastest thing in existence, decides to stop and rest. At the edge of a black hole, there is a boundary called the event horizon. It is the point of no return. But just outside this boundary, time behaves strangely. According to relativity, as you approach this heavy gravity, time slows down. To an outside observer, an object falling in would appear to slow down until it freezes, suspended forever on the edge of the dark. The image is captured, held in a timeless pause, sleeping on the threshold of the unknown. Time is not a race. In the deep places of the universe, time can stop. It can wait. It can hold a moment forever, just as your mind can hold a memory in the stillness of a dream. If you hold a dry seed in your hand, it feels like a pebble, hard, cold, and lifeless. But this is an illusion. Inside that hard shell, a tiny life is sleeping, waiting for the signal to wake up. This state is called dormancy. The embryo inside the seed has dehydrated itself, removing nearly all the water from its cells to stop the clock of aging. It has slowed its metabolism to near zero. It is a biological time capsule, suspended in a state of suspended animation. It can wait like this for a season, a year, or even a century, protected by its coat, waiting for the specific combination of warmth and moisture to tell it that it is safe to begin. You do not always need to be growing. Sometimes the wisest thing to do is to wait, to curl up inside your own shell and preserve your energy until the conditions are perfect for you to bloom. There is a microscopic creature known as the water bear, or tardigrade, that is famous for being the toughest animal on Earth. Its secret weapon against danger is not fighting, but sleeping. When conditions get too dry or too cold, the tardigrade enters a state called cryptobiosis. It curls its 8 legs inward, turning into a tiny dry ball called a ton. Inside its body, it replaces the water in its cells with a special protein that acts like liquid glass. This vitrification freezes its biology in place without damaging it. It can sleep in this glass state for 30 years without food or water, weathering the storm until the rain returns to melt the glass and wake it up. True strength often looks like softness. It is the ability to pause, to retreat into a place of deep stillness, and to endure the hard times by simply refusing to let them break you. When you look at a jar of dry yeast in the kitchen, it looks like dust. But these are living organisms, billions of them, sleeping in a collective hush. Yeast cells are masters of preservation. When they are dried out, their cell walls thicken and harden, locking their internal machinery in a pause. They are in a state of anabiosis, life without sign of life. They are waiting for one thing: the embrace of warm water and sugar. The moment they feel the warmth, the cell walls soften, the water rushes in, and they wake up instantly, releasing the breath of carbon dioxide that makes the bread rise. All it takes is a little warmth to bring life back. Tonight, you are the dry earth, and sleep is the warm water, rushing in to soften your spirit and prepare you to rise again. In a dry lake bed in China, scientists once found lotus seeds that had been buried in the mud for over 1,000 years. They looked ancient and dead. But when they were placed in water, a miracle happened. The seeds sprouted. After a millennium of sleep, the genetic code inside was still perfectly intact, protected by an incredibly dense, rock-hard outer shell. The lotus plant grew, bloomed, and produced a flower just as beautiful as its ancestors did 10 centuries ago. The life force had not faded. It had merely been patient. It suggests that life is far more durable than we imagine, capable of outlasting empires just by closing its eyes. Nothing is ever truly lost. The dreams and hopes you have buried deep inside you are not gone. They are simply waiting for their 1,000-year reign, ready to bloom when the time is right. If you were to look at a leaf under a microscope, you would see thousands of tiny mouths called stomata. These mouths allow the plant to breathe. But at night, the forest holds its breath. During the day, sunlight triggers these pores to open wide, drinking in carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen and water vapor. But when the sun sets, the pressure in the cells drops. The guard cells on either side of the opening lose their rigidity and collapse toward each other, sealing the pore shut. This prevents the plant from losing precious water to the night air. The entire plant seals itself up, keeping its moisture safe inside until the morning light returns. It is time to close the doors. Like the leaf, you can seal yourself off from the outside world, keeping your energy and your spirit contained safely within, waiting for the sun. From the moment you woke up this morning, a tiny, invisible hourglass has been counting down inside your brain. It does not measure time with sand, but with a molecule called adenosine. Adenosine is the byproduct of being alive. Every time a neuron fires, every time you think or move, your cells burn energy and leave behind a residue of adenosine. Throughout the day, this chemical builds up in the fluids of your brain, increasing the pressure to sleep. It is a biological accounting system. The more you do, the more adenosine accumulates, latching onto your wakefulness receptors and weighing them down. It is the chemical explanation for why you feel heavy at the end of a long day. The heaviness is not a burden, it is a balance. It is your body's way of ensuring that the energy you spent is perfectly matched by the rest you are about to receive. The brain is a noisy place, filled with the electrical chatter of millions of neurons talking at once. To sleep, someone needs to dim the lights and hush the crowd. That someone is a neurotransmitter called GABA. Gamma-aminobutyric acid, or GABA, is the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. Think of it as the brakes of the nervous system. When it is released, it binds to the neurons and makes it harder for them to fire. It blocks the flow of excitement signals. It sweeps through the cortex like a wave of silence, quieting the anxiety, slowing the thoughts, and lowering the static noise of the mind. It turns the roar of the day into the whisper of the night. Imagine a librarian walking through the halls of your mind, gently turning off the lamps one by one, whispering, "Hush," to every worry until the room is dark and quiet.
Deep within the Earth's crust lies a mineral that acts as a natural key for relaxation. It is found in rocks, in the ocean, and in the green leaves of plants. It is magnesium, and your body craves it for rest. Magnesium works at the junction where your nerves meet your muscles. In order for a muscle to contract or tense up, calcium must rush into the nerve. Magnesium acts as the bouncer at the door. It blocks the calcium from entering, preventing the muscle from contracting. It physically uncouples the tension. Without magnesium, your muscles would remain in a state of constant cramping tightness. With it, the grip releases, and the muscle fibers lengthen into a soft, liquid state. You are untying the knots. This element from the earth is flowing through you, gently loosening every tight spot, telling your physical form that the work is done. Sleep is not a dimmer switch that slowly fades out. Biologically, it is often a flip switch. There is a specific system in the brain that keeps you awake, and when it stops, you fall. This system is driven by a chemical called orexin. It is the fuel of wakefulness, keeping your eyes open and your posture upright. But at night, the neurons that produce orexin are inhibited. The signal is cut. It is a sudden, decisive shift from on to off. This is why you can be reading a book one moment and waking up the next morning with the book on your chest. The brain simply decided to flip the switch, plunging you instantly into the safety of the dark. You do not have to work to fall asleep. You simply have to let go of the switch. The body knows exactly when to cut the power and let you drift. There is a reason why a warm meal often makes us drowsy. It starts a chemical chain reaction that transforms the food we eat into the dreams we see. It begins with tryptophan, an amino acid found in many foods. Once it enters your system, it begins a transformative journey. First, the body converts tryptophan into 5-HTP. Then, it converts 5-HTP into serotonin, the chemical of contentment. Finally, as the sun sets, the pineal gland converts that serotonin into melatonin, the hormone of sleep. It is a beautiful chemical assembly line. The nourishment of the day is chemically refined, step by step, until it becomes the elixir of the night. Everything you need is already inside you. Your body is a master alchemist, constantly turning the raw materials of your life into the golden piece of sleep. When you watch a newborn baby sleeping, they often look peaceful. But under the surface of that tiny skull, a massive construction project is taking place. A baby's brain is the busiest construction site on Earth. In the first few years of life, a child creates more than 1 million new neural connections every single second. This intense wiring happens almost exclusively during sleep. This is why babies sleep for up to 16 hours a day. They are not just resting, they are building the internet of their mind. The brain consumes nearly 50% of the infant's total calories just to fuel this growth. The silence of their nap is actually the roar of expansion. To sleep is to grow. Just as the baby builds a mind in the dark, you are rebuilding your spirit. In the quiet, you are becoming more than you were before. If you have ever watched a baby sleep, you might have seen their eyes darting back and forth furiously beneath their eyelids, or seen them smile at an invisible joke. This is because babies spend far more time in the dream world than adults do. Adults spend about 20% of their sleep in REM. Newborns spend nearly 50%. Some scientists believe that before they are even born, while still in the womb,
fetuses are already dreaming. Since they have no visual memories of the world yet, it is a mystery what they dream about. It is thought that they are dreaming of sensations, the sound of the mother's voice, the rhythm of the heartbeat, the feeling of warmth. They are rehearsing the feeling of being alive. Before we ever saw the world, we dreamed of it. We are born active dreamers, arriving on this earth with an imagination already primed and ready to go. There is a specific brainwave pattern that is crucial for learning, and it peaks during the sleep of school-aged children. It looks like a burst of static on a graph, but it is actually the sound of a memory sticking. These are called sleep spindles. They are quick bursts of oscillating brain activity in the thalamus. Research shows a direct link between the number of spindles a child has at night and their ability to learn new words or facts the next day. The spindle is the brain's way of saying, save. It takes the temporary information from the classroom and weaves it into the permanent fabric of the child's intelligence. It is the neurological act of knitting knowledge into wisdom. Every lesson learned is solidified in silence. You do not need to hold on tight to what you know. You can let go, sleep, and trust that your mind will keep what is true. Across every culture, every continent, and every era of human history, mothers and fathers have sung to their children to help them sleep. And remarkably, all lullabies sound the same. Whether it is a Maori ballad in New Zealand or a folk song in Sweden, lullabies share a specific mathematical structure. They use a slow tempo, a falling melodic line, and narrow pitch ranges. This is not a coincidence. It is an evolutionary code. The human brain is hardwired to interpret these specific acoustic patterns as a signal of safety. The song acts as an auditory shield, telling the primitive brain that the tribe is close and the danger is far. You are never too old for a lullaby. The rhythm of a slow song, the sound of rain, or a gentle voice still holds the power to carry you back to that first, safe place of rest. Babies are famous for being able to sleep in positions that would leave an adult crippled with back pain, slumped over a high chair, curled in a ball, or twisted in a car seat. They can do this because their very structure is softer than ours. A newborn baby has about 300 bones, whereas an adult has only 206. Many of the baby's bones are made of cartilage, firm but flexible tissue that hasn't yet ossified into hard bone. Their spine is a single, gentle curve, unlike the double S-curve of an adult. This flexibility allows them to mold themselves into the mattress, finding comfort in almost any shape. They do not need to get comfortable. They are naturally fluid. Imagine your own bones softening. Imagine the rigidity of your spine melting into the flexibility of a child, allowing you to pour yourself into the mattress and be held completely. In the sun-drenched towns of the Mediterranean, the world shuts down when the sun is at its highest point. Shops close, streets empty, and silence falls. This is the siesta, and it is not a habit of laziness, but of biological wisdom. Human beings are biphasic by nature. Our internal clock, the circadian rhythm, has two major dips in energy. One is at 2 a.m. and the other is at 2 p.m. In the heat of the afternoon, the body's core temperature drops slightly, and the brain releases a small wave of sleep signals. The siesta honors this natural rhythm. It allows the body to retreat from the harshness of the midday sun, cooling down and resetting the system before the evening begins. There is no shame in resting when the day is hard. Like the people of the warm south, you can retreat into the cool shadows, letting the world wait while you catch your breath. The artist, Salvador Dali, and the inventor, Thomas Edison, both shared a secret technique for napping. They did not want to sleep deeply. They wanted to surf the edge of the wave. They would sit in a comfortable armchair, holding a heavy metal key or a ball bearing in their hand, dangling over a metal plate on the floor. As they drifted off, their muscles would relax. Just as they crossed the threshold into deep sleep, their fingers would let go. Clang! The noise would wake them up instantly. They were capturing the hypnagogic state, that fluid, dreamlike moment, where the brain is awash in creative imagery, but still accessible. They napped for a single second to steal the ideas from their dreams. The border between awake and asleep is a place of magic. You do not always need to cross over completely. Sometimes, just dipping your toes in the water is enough to refresh your mind. There is a perfect length for a nap, a specific window of time that leaves you feeling lighter rather than heavier. That window is 20 minutes. Sleep is a staircase. In the first 20 minutes, you are on the top steps, stage 1 and stage 2 sleep. The muscles relax and the mind clears, but you haven't yet descended into the deep, heavy basement of slow-wave sleep. If you wake up before 20 minutes are up, you spring back to life easily. But if you go longer, you enter the deep sleep, and waking up becomes a struggle against sleep inertia. The 20-minute nap is a light dusting, a quick polish of the mind without the heavy lifting. It is a brief detour. You are simply stepping off the busy road for a moment, sitting on a bench to watch the clouds, and then standing up again, ready to walk with a lighter step. When you are piloting a shuttle thousands of miles above the Earth, alertness is a matter of survival. So, NASA scientists spent years studying the perfect nap for their pilots. They found a very specific number: 26 minutes. In their studies, pilots who napped for exactly 26 minutes showed an improvement in performance of 34% and an increase in alertness of 54%. It was precise. It was just enough time to recharge the batteries of the brain without grogginess. They called it the NASA nap. It proves that you don't need hours to fix a tired mind. You just need a moment of high-quality silence. You are the pilot of your own life. When the controls feel heavy and the screen gets blurry, a short, precise pause is all you need to bring the stars back into focus. We often think of naps as a way to get physical energy, but their most profound effect is actually on our mood. A nap is an emotional shower. Throughout the day, your brain's emotional centers can become hypersensitive. Small annoyances feel like big problems. The amygdala begins to overreact. A short nap acts as a system reboot. Even a brief period of stage 2 sleep resets the sensitivity of these emotional receptors. It washes away the frustration and the irritability. You wake up with a fresh pair of eyes, able to look at the same problems from before and see them as smaller, manageable, and less frightening. The world hasn't changed, but you have. You have washed the lens of your perception, and now everything looks a little brighter, a little softer, and a little more peaceful. In the frozen forests of Alaska, the wood frog does something impossible. When winter comes, it does not dig a hole or hide. It simply sits on the forest floor and allows itself to freeze solid. If you picked it up, it would feel like a hard rock. Its heart stops beating. Its breathing stops. Its brain goes dark. But it is not dead. Before the freeze, the frog floods its body with glucose sugar, which acts as a natural antifreeze.
This syrup prevents the water inside its cells from turning into sharp ice crystals that would shred the tissue. It becomes a statue of sugar glass. When spring arrives, the frog thaws from the inside out. The heart kickstarts, and it hops away as if nothing happened. It is a miracle of surrender. The frog does not fight the cold. It becomes the cold. It trusts that if it holds still enough, the warmth will eventually return to wake it up. In modern medicine, when a brain is severely injured, doctors often do the only thing that can save it. They force it to sleep deeper than it has ever slept before. This is a medically induced coma. By administering specific drugs, doctors dial down the metabolic rate of the brain. They turn off the lights in the house so the electricity bill goes down.
A damaged brain needs massive amounts of energy to heal. But thinking, seeing, and hearing use up that energy. By shutting down consciousness, all the body's resources are redirected to repair. It is a biological "do not disturb" sign placed on the very essence of the person. Sometimes, the only way to heal is to stop completely, to do nothing, to withdraw from the world and let the quiet work of repair happen in the dark. We know bears hibernate, but the biological details are astounding. For up to 7 months, a black bear does not eat, drink, or release waste. To make this possible, the body creates a physical seal. It is called a tappen, or a fecal plug. During the hibernation period, the bear's digestive system creates a dry, hard stopper from cells and secretions that blocks the exit. This prevents the bear from soiling the den and keeps the system sealed against bacteria. Meanwhile, the bear recycles its own urea into protein. It literally feeds on its own waste products, turning them back into muscle. It is a perfectly closed loop of efficiency, a self-sustaining ecosystem of one. You are self-sufficient. In your deepest moments of withdrawal, you have everything you need inside you to survive. You are a closed circle of strength. There is a rare and mysterious condition known as Sleeping Beauty syndrome. It affects mostly teenagers, causing them to fall into a slumber that can last for weeks or even months. Scientifically called Kleine-Levin syndrome, it is a malfunction of the hypothalamus, the part of the brain that controls sleep and appetite. During an episode, the person might sleep for 20 hours a day, waking only to eat in a trance-like state before falling back under. It is as if the brain decides it has had enough of the world and pulls the emergency brake. While difficult to live with, it shows the brain's incredible power to override everything else in favor of rest. The body has a final say. It knows when the noise of the world is too much, and it has the power to pull you into the safety of the nest, whether you ask for it or not. We often confuse anesthesia with sleep, but they are very different. Sleep is a cycle of waves. Anesthesia is a flat line. It is the closest a human being gets to non-existence while remaining alive. When you go under anesthesia, the drugs disconnect the different parts of the brain from communicating. The thalamo-cortical loops that create consciousness are severed. You do not dream. You do not sense time. You close your eyes, and a second later you open them, but hours have passed on the clock. It is a journey without distance. It is a state of suspended animation where the self steps out of the room, leaving the body to be fixed by others. It is a profound trust. You hand over control of your very existence to another, trusting that you will be watched over, cared for, and brought back safely to the shore. In the myths of ancient Greece, sleep was not just a feeling. He was a god named Hypnos, and he was never seen without his twin brother, Thanatos, death. The Greeks believed that sleep and death were two sides of the same coin. They lived together in a dark cave in the underworld, where the river Lethe flowed. But while Thanatos was feared, Hypnos was beloved. He was depicted as a gentle young man with wings on his temples, carrying a poppy stem dipped in the water of forgetfulness. He would fly over the weary earth, touching the foreheads of the suffering to grant them a temporary release from the burdens of life. Sleep is the gentle brother. It is the little death that we welcome every night, a practice run for the ultimate peace, reminding us that there is nothing to fear in letting go. We have all heard of the Sandman, the magical figure who sprinkles dust in our eyes. But this story originates from a very real biological sensation, the grit we feel in our eyes when we are tired. The legend tells of a character, sometimes an elf, sometimes a spirit who carries a sack of magical sand. When he spots a child fighting sleep, he sprinkles a handful of grains into their eyes. The heaviness and itchiness forces the child to close their eyelids. Once the eyes are shut, the Sandman paints a dream on the back of the eyelids. It was a clever way for parents to explain the crusty residue that we often find in the corners of our eyes when we wake up. The grit is a signal. It is the physical manifestation of the Sandman's visit, a tactile reminder that the time for looking is over and the time for dreaming has begun. The word nightmare has a dark and heavy history. It comes from the Old English word mare, which was a goblin or demon believed to sit on the chest of the sleeper. In medieval folklore, people couldn't explain the sensation of sleep paralysis, waking up, unable to move, feeling a heavy weight on the chest. They blamed the mare. She was a spirit that rode the sleeper like a horse, pressing the air out of their lungs. While the image is frightening, it was simply an attempt to name the unknown. By giving the fear a name and a shape, our ancestors tried to gain power over the terrifying sensation of being trapped in their own bodies. Fear often wears a mask. When you understand the science behind the mare, that it is just your body protecting you, the demon vanishes, leaving only a harmless shadow behind. In the Aboriginal Dreamtime stories of Australia, the world was not created by a hand from the sky, but by a sleeper moving through the earth. The rainbow serpent. The legend says that in the beginning, the earth was flat and featureless. The rainbow serpent, a massive, vibrant spirit, woke from its sleep underground. As it slithered across the land, its winding body carved out the riverbeds and pushed up the mountains. When it grew tired, it coiled up and slept again, becoming the waterholes and lakes. The landscape itself is the physical memory of a god's movement and rest. The world is a map of a dream. You are a creator. Just as the serpent carved the valleys, your movements through the world leave a mark. And like the serpent, your rest is just as important as your movement. To the Native American tribes of the West, the protector of sleep was not a warrior, but a grandmother spider named a Sibikashi. A Sibikashi watched over the people of the land, but as the tribes spread out, she could not be everywhere at once. So she taught the mothers how to weave magical webs, dream catchers, to hang above the beds. These webs were not just decorations. They were proxies for the spider grandmother. They promised that even when you were alone in the dark, you were connected to the matriarch, held in a net of safety that stretched across the entire continent. You are held in a web of love. Even if you cannot see them, The intentions of those who care for you are hanging in the air, catching the darkness before it can reach you. For thousands of years, sleep was a black box. We knew we went there, but we didn't know what happened inside. That changed in 1924, when a German psychiatrist named Hans Berger found a way to let the brain write its own diary. Berger invented the electroencephalogram, or EEG. By placing small metal discs called electrodes on the scalp, he discovered that the brain is an electrical generator. Even in deep sleep, it is humming with voltage. The EEG translates this electricity into a moving pen on a scrolling sheet of paper. It revealed that sleep is not a flat line of silence. It is a symphony of different waves, alpha, theta, delta, rising and falling like the tides of an electrical ocean. Your mind is never truly silent. Even when you have left the world behind, the electricity of your spirit is still singing a song, writing a story of waves that proves you are vividly alive. If you were to visit a sleep laboratory today,
You would undergo a polysomnogram.
it sounds intimidating, but it is simply a way of listening to the entire body at once, like a conductor listening to an orchestra. It is the gold standard of sleep science. You are connected to a web of sensors. Electrodes on the head for the brain, sensors by the eyes to track REM, patches on the chest for the heart, and bands around the stomach to measure breathing. It turns the sleeping human into a data stream. It revealed that the body does not sleep as one unit. The muscles might be paralyzed while the eyes are sprinting, and the heart might slow down while the brain speeds up. It captures the complex, synchronized dance of your biology. You are a complex machine of moving parts, yet they all work together in harmony. The heart, the lungs, the mind, they all know the steps to this nightly dance without you ever having to teach them. While the EEG shows us when the brain is active, the fMRI shows us where. It allows scientists to see through the skull and watch the lights turn on in the rooms of the mind. Functional magnetic resonance imaging works by tracking blood flow. When a part of your brain is working hard, like the visual cortex during a dream, it needs more fuel, so oxygen-rich blood rushes to that spot. On the fMRI scan, these areas light up in bright orange and red. It proved that the logic centers go dark during sleep, while the emotion centers blaze with activity. It is a heat map of your inner life, showing us exactly which parts of you are awake while you sleep. The logic has been turned off, so the feeling can turn on. The map shows that sleep is a time for the heart to take over the controls, steering the ship while the captain of reason takes a break. You might be wearing a sleep tracker on your wrist right now. These devices use a technology called actigraphy, which is based on a simple truth: sleep is stillness. Inside your watch is a tiny device called an accelerometer. It measures movement in three-dimensional space. By tracking thousands of microscopic shifts in your wrist position, an algorithm can determine with surprising accuracy whether you are awake, in light sleep, or in deep sleep. It turns your physical stillness into a graph of your rest. It has democratized sleep science, allowing millions of people to see the patterns of their own night for the first time. Your stillness tells a story. Every time you stop moving, the watch records a victory. A moment where you successfully let go of the need to do and simply allowed yourself to be. Silence is not always golden. For many, total silence is deafening, amplifying every creak of the house. The solution for millions is a machine that makes noise on purpose. The white noise machine. White noise is a sound that contains every frequency within the range of human hearing, played at equal intensity. It sounds like static or rushing water. It works by auditory masking. Because it fills the acoustic environment with a steady, flat wall of sound,
It drowns out the sudden spikes of noise, like a car door slamming or a dog barking, that would usually wake you up. It creates a sonic blanket that smooths out the edges of the world. You are building a fortress of sound. Within this steady hum, the chaotic noises of the outside world cannot reach you. You are safe inside the static, protected by a shield of gentle noise. For centuries, sleeping until the future was a fairy tale. But today, in labs around the world, it is a serious scientific pursuit known as cryonics. The goal is to pause the biological clock indefinitely. The idea is based on the fact that chemistry stops at very low temperatures. By cooling a body to 196 degrees Celsius using liquid nitrogen, molecular decay is theoretically halted. The challenge is ice. Water expands when it freezes, shattering cells.
Future scientists are developing advanced cryoprotectants, medical antifreezes, that would allow human tissue to vitrify rather than freeze. In this state, a person could technically sleep for centuries, waiting for medical technology to catch up to their illness, waking up in a new world. It is the ultimate act of hope. It is a belief that the future will be better than the present, and a willingness to close your eyes in the dark, trusting that a strange, new morning awaits. We often wish we could show someone our crazy dreams. Soon, we might be able to. Scientists are getting closer to pulling the video files directly from the brain. Using advanced fMRI scanning and artificial intelligence, researchers in Japan have successfully reconstructed images from a person's brain. They trained an AI to match brain blood flow patterns with specific images: a car, a bird, a letter. When the subjects slept and imagined these objects, the AI was able to draw a rough, pixelated version of what they were seeing in their mind. As this technology sharpens, the day may come when we can wake up, plug in a drive, and watch the replay of our night's adventure. The wall of privacy is thinning, but perhaps sharing our dreams will bring us closer, allowing us to see that the strange, beautiful chaos inside us is something we all share. What if you could fall asleep instantly, not with a pill, but with a switch? In the field of optogenetics, scientists have already done this with mice. By genetically modifying specific neurons to be sensitive to light, researchers can control the brain with a laser. When they flash a blue light onto the sleep-regulating neurons of a mouse, the mouse falls asleep instantly, mid-stride. When they turn the light off, the mouse wakes up. While this is far from human application, it maps the precise circuitry of sleep. It suggests that sleep is not a vague cloud, but a precise electrical state that can be engaged on command. Imagine the freedom of perfect control. To be able to turn off the noise of the world as easily as flipping a light switch, granting yourself instant peace whenever you need it. In the past, we adjusted ourselves to the room. In the future, the room will adjust to us. The bedroom of tomorrow will be an active participant in your rest. Engineers are designing smart sleep environments. Imagine a mattress that senses your temperature and cools down the moment you drift off to deepen your sleep. Imagine lights that slowly shift their spectrum to red as your cortisol lowers. Imagine a wall that cancels the specific frequency of a snoring partner. The room will become a biological exoskeleton, reading your heart rate and breath, constantly micro-adjusting the environment to keep you in the perfect sweet spot of slumber. You are being cradled. The very architecture around you is watching over you, ensuring that nothing disturbs your journey, holding you in a perfect bubble of comfort. There is a futuristic movement called transhumanism that views sleep as a flaw, a waste of time to be engineered away. But biology tells a different story. Sleep is not a bug. It is the feature that makes life possible. Every attempt to eliminate sleep in the animal kingdom has resulted in death. Nature has had 3.5 billion years to evolve a creature that doesn't sleep, and it never did. Why? Because to be awake is to accrue damage. To sleep is to repair it. The future of rest is not about removing it. It is about respecting it. The most advanced human of the future will not be the one who never sleeps, but the one who sleeps perfectly, realizing that the power of their waking mind comes entirely from the quality of their rest. You are perfect as you are. The rhythm of rest and activity is the rhythm of the universe. To surrender to sleep is not to lose time. It is to gain life. It is one of the most common nightmares in the world. You are running as fast as you can, but something terrible is right behind you. This is not just a dream. It is a memory of our species. Evolutionary psychologists believe the chase dream is a relic of our ancestral past. For millions of years, human beings were not the top of the food chain. We were prey. The fear of being hunted by a predator was a daily reality. When you dream of being chased, your brain is running a survival simulation. It is activating the fight or flight system in a safe environment, practicing the neural pathways of escape so that if you ever face a real threat, your instincts will be sharp. You are running the drills of a prehistoric warrior. You are practicing courage. Even in the fear, you are moving. You are reacting. You are surviving. It is a reminder that deep down, you have the instinct to keep going, no matter what is behind you. You are drifting off to sleep, perhaps dreaming of walking down a staircase, when suddenly you miss a step. You plunge into the void, and your physical body jerks awake in bed. This phenomenon is called a hypnic jerk. It usually happens during the transition from wakefulness to sleep. One theory suggests it is an evolutionary misfire. As your muscles relax and you drift into unconsciousness, your primitive brain interprets this sensation of sinking as falling out of a tree. In a panic, it sends a sudden electrical jolt to your muscles to catch yourself. It is a protective reflex from a time when we slept on branches, ensuring we didn't plummet to the ground. Your body is trying to save you. Even in the confusion of the moment, it is acting out of a deep desire to keep you safe, catching you before you hit the bottom. You walk into a classroom, a boardroom, or a party, only to realize with horror that you have forgotten your clothes. The dream of public nakedness is the universal dream of vulnerability. Psychologically, clothes represent our persona, the social mask we wear to present ourselves to the world. To dream of being without them is to dream of the mask slipping. It often occurs during times of imposter syndrome, when we fear that people will see through our professional exterior to the flawed, real person underneath. It is the fear of exposure. But interestingly, in most of these dreams, no one else seems to notice. The shame is entirely internal, a projection of your own judgment, not the world's. You have nothing to hide. Beneath the layers of expectation and social armor, you are simply human. And there is no shame in being exactly who you are underneath it all. You are talking to someone, and suddenly you feel something loose in your mouth. You spit it out, and it is a tooth. Then another. This disturbing dream has haunted humans since the time of the Romans. There are two main theories for this vivid dream. The physiological theory is simple. You might be grinding your teeth in your sleep, and the dream is your brain interpreting the physical sensation of pressure. The psychological theory is about power. Teeth are our primary weapon. They are how an animal defends itself and bites into the world. To lose your teeth is to lose your ability to be aggressive or decisive. It often appears when we feel powerless, unheard, or unable to bite into a problem in our waking life. It is a call to speak up. Your mind is telling you that you feel silenced, and it is inviting you to find your voice again, to reclaim your power and show your strength. You are back in high school. The clock is ticking. The paper is in front of you, and you realize you have never attended this class. Even adults in their 60s have this dream. This is the unpreparedness dream. It is common among high achievers. School is the first place we are judged by authority figures, so it becomes the brain's default setting for performance anxiety. When you are stressed about a deadline or a project in your adult life, your brain recycles the old imagery of the exam hall. It is a symbol of self-scrutiny. It is your inner critic asking, "Are you ready? Are you good enough?" The irony, of course, is that in real life, you passed that test years ago. You have already succeeded. The test is over. You are not that scared child anymore. You are the accomplished adult who has already proven they can make the grade. When the days grow short and the cold sets in, you often feel a deeper, heavier urge to sleep. We often criticize ourselves for this laziness, but it is a biological imperative. You are entering a human version of hibernation. This is driven by the scarcity of light. In winter, the sun sets earlier, meaning your retinas receive less blue light throughout the day. This signals the pineal gland to begin producing melatonin much earlier in the evening and to sustain it for longer periods. Your body is literally producing more sleep fuel in December than it does in July. You are not losing energy. You are shifting into a conservation mode designed by evolution to keep you quiet and safe during the resource-scarce months of the cold. The winter is asking you to slow down. It is not a time for expansion, but for preservation. Like the seeds beneath the snow, you are being invited to rest deeply so you can bloom when the light returns. Conversely, in the height of summer, many people find themselves waking up earlier or struggling to settle down at night. The world feels energetic, and your body refuses to turn off. The abundance of sunlight acts as a potent drug. With the sun shining well into the evening, the brake pedal of melatonin is released. At the same time, the extended light boosts the production of serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals of alertness and mood. Your circadian rhythm is being stretched by the long days. Historically, this was the time for hunting and gathering, for maximizing the hours of visibility. Your body is simply trying to make the most of the light while it lasts. You are solar-powered. The energy coursing through you is a gift from the season, a time to be active and alive, banking the sunshine in your skin to carry you through the year. It sounds like a myth from a werewolf movie, but science has confirmed it. You sleep differently when the moon is full. Even in a blacked-out room, your brain knows what the moon is doing. A study at the University of Basel showed that during a full moon, people take longer to fall asleep, sleep for 20 minutes less, and experience 30% less deep sleep. The leading theory is evolutionary. For our ancestors, a full moon meant a bright night, a night when predators could see them. Therefore, The brain evolved to remain slightly more alert, sleeping lighter to guard against the danger illuminated by the moonlight. You are still wild inside. The modern roof over your head hasn't silenced the ancient instinct that watches the sky, keeping one eye open to protect you when the night is bright. As winter fades and the first green shoots appear, there is a palpable shift in the air. We call it spring fever. It is a feeling of restlessness, a desire to move, to clean, and to wake up. This is a metabolic reboot. As the angle of the sun changes, the intensity of the light hitting your skin increases. This triggers a drop in melatonin and a spike in testosterone and estrogen. The body is shifting gears from storage mode to reproductive and active mode. The fever is the heat of your own biology waking up. The lethargy of the winter melts away, replaced by a chemical directive to go out and engage with the world. You are thawing. The ice around your heart and your habits is melting, releasing a fresh stream of energy that wants to flow, to create, and to begin again. We all know about the circadian rhythm, but biologists believe we also possess a circannual rhythm, a clock that measures the passing of the entire year. This long-term timer is thought to be located in the pituitary gland. It tracks the gradual changes in day length over months to anticipate the seasons. It explains why, even in climate-controlled offices with artificial light, our mood, appetite, and sleep needs shift predictably as the year turns. We are not static machines. We are rhythmic beings that pulse in time with the orbit of the planet. We are not just living on the Earth. We are living with it. Trust the cycle. There is a season for everything. A season to run, a season to rest, a season to build, and a season to dream. You are right on time. We tend to think of the caveman sleeping on cold, hard rock, but archaeology tells a softer story. Even 77,000 years ago, our ancestors were master bed makers. In a rock shelter in South Africa, scientists found the oldest known mattress. It was not just a pile of dirt. It was a carefully constructed, layered system. The base was made of broad-leafed sedges and rushes to provide lift and insulation from the cold ground. But the genius was in the top layer. They added the leaves of the cryptocarya tree, a plant containing natural insecticidal chemicals. This ancient mattress was not only soft, it was designed to repel mosquitoes and bed bugs. They were engineering their sleep for safety and comfort long before civilization began. The desire for comfort is primal. Even when survival was a daily battle, we took the time to build a soft place to land, understanding that we cannot face the world if we do not rest well. Today, we judge a pillow by its fluffiness, but in ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, the most expensive pillows were made of solid stone or wood. These headrests were not designed for comfort in the modern sense. They were designed for preservation. In hot climates, keeping the head elevated allowed air to circulate around the neck, keeping the sleeper cool. More importantly, they protected the elaborate, expensive hairstyles of the elite. To sleep on a soft pillow would be to ruin the art on one's head. The sleeper would rest the base of their skull on a curved wooden or stone pillar, sacrificing softness for status and airflow. Comfort is relative. Sometimes we choose structure over softness, supporting ourselves in a way that keeps our head high and our mind cool, even in the heat of the night. For centuries, the feather bed was the ultimate symbol of luxury. But in the 19th century, doctors began to warn against it, believing it was too soft for the human constitution. Before the invention of the metal spring, beds were essentially giant sacks filled with goose down. While incredibly warm, they offered zero support. You sank into them, and your spine curved into a hammock shape. Victorian physicians argued that this enervated the body, making men soft and women weak. They prescribed horsehair mattresses instead, firm, scratchy, and unyielding, believing that a hard bed created a hard character. It was a moral judgment disguised as medical advice. We often mistake hardness for virtue, but there is no weakness in softness. To let yourself be held, to sink into comfort, is not a failure of character. It is an act of kindness to yourself. The bouncy bed we know today is a surprisingly recent invention. It wasn't until the Industrial Revolution that we figured out how to make sleep resilient. In 1857, the steel coil spring was patented not for beds, but for chair seats. It took decades for someone to realize that if you arranged rows of these steel spirals and covered them with fabric, you could create a surface that pushed back. This was the inner spring. Unlike straw or feathers, which pack down and become hard over time, the spring returns to its original shape every morning. It introduced the concept of active support, where the bed reacts to the sleeper's weight. Resilience is the key to longevity. Like the spring, you must be able to bear the weight of the day and then bounce back, returning to your true shape every single morning. The mattress you might be sleeping on tonight was originally designed to protect astronauts from the G-forces of a rocket launch. Memory foam is a gift from the stars. In the 1960s, NASA engineers needed a material that could absorb the massive pressure of liftoff without pushing back against the astronaut's body. They invented a viscoelastic polyurethane foam. The visco means it moves like honey. The elastic means it returns to shape. When you lie on it, your body heat softens the material, allowing it to mold perfectly to your curves. It eliminates pressure points by distributing your weight evenly across every inch of contact. You are being held by a custom mold. The surface adapts to you, not the other way around. It reminds you that you do not need to change your shape to fit the world. You can find a place that fits you. It is the oldest trick in the parenting book. A glass of warm milk before bed. While many dismiss it as an old wives' tale, there is real chemistry swirling in that mug. Milk contains tryptophan, the amino acid precursor to serotonin and melatonin. But the amount is actually quite small. Scientists believe the true power of warm milk is psychological and thermal. The warmth of the liquid raises the internal body temperature slightly, which triggers a compensatory cooling mechanism, the drop in temperature that mimics the natural sleep cycle. Furthermore, the fatty peptides in milk bind to the brain's GABA receptors, creating a mild sedative effect similar to an anti-anxiety medication. It is a liquid hug. The warmth, the texture, and the memory of being cared for as a child all combine to tell your nervous system that the day is over and you are safe. For thousands of years, the tiny, daisy-like flower called chamomile has been steeped in hot water to cure insomnia. It is nature's tranquilizer. The secret ingredient in chamomile is a flavonoid called apigenin. This molecule is a chemical key that fits into the exact same lock in the brain as Valium. It binds to the benzodiazepine receptors in the brain, reducing the electrical activity of neurons. It does not knock you out, it simply turns down the volume of your anxiety. It is a gentle, floral nudge towards stillness, used by the ancient Egyptians as a sacred offering to the sun god Ra, perhaps to help him sleep through the night. Nature has provided a cure for the noise. In the delicate petals of a flower, there is a chemical silence waiting to be released, bringing the peace of the garden into your mind. Every year, people joke that the turkey makes them sleepy at Thanksgiving. While turkey does contain tryptophan, it is actually the dessert that knocks you out. This is known as the carbohydrate coma. To get tryptophan into the brain, it has to cross the blood-brain barrier, which is crowded with other amino acids fighting for entry. When you eat a massive amount of carbohydrates, your body releases insulin to manage the sugar. The insulin sweeps the competing amino acids out of the blood and into the muscles, but leaves the tryptophan behind. With the competition gone, the tryptophan has a free pass into the brain to become melatonin. It is a sweet surrender. The feast prepares the body for the fast of the night, clearing the way for the chemicals of rest to take their throne. There is one fruit that acts as a direct injection of sleep hormone. While most foods provide the building blocks for melatonin, the tart cherry contains the melatonin itself. Montmorency tart cherries are one of the few natural sources of ready-made melatonin. Studies have shown that drinking tart cherry juice can increase the availability of melatonin in the body and extend sleep duration by nearly 90 minutes. It also contains anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation. Since inflammation causes the body to be alert, reducing it allows the immune system to stand down and the brain to drift off. The earth offers you its own rhythm. By consuming the fruit of the tree, you are borrowing the plant's own cycle of rest, taking its chemical sunset into your own veins. We cannot talk about sleep foods without talking about the anti-sleep food, the coffee bean. But caffeine does not actually give you energy. It just lies to your brain. Caffeine is a master of disguise. Its molecular structure looks almost identical to adenosine, the sleep pressure chemical we discussed earlier. Because of this shape, caffeine can slide into the adenosine receptors in your brain, blocking them like a piece of gum in a keyhole. The real adenosine is still there, floating around, but it can't get in to deliver its message of tiredness. You don't feel energized. You just cease to feel your own exhaustion. When the caffeine wears off, all that built-up adenosine rushes in at once, the dreaded caffeine crash. It is a borrowed energy. You are taking a loan from tomorrow to pay for today. But eventually, the debt must be paid, and the only currency the body accepts is sleep. In recent years, millions of people have turned to videos of people whispering, tapping on wood, or crinkling paper to fall asleep. It is a biological phenomenon called ASMR, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. When you hear these specific, crisp sounds, your brain releases a flood of endorphins and oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It creates a physical tingling sensation that starts at the scalp and moves down the spine. Evolutionary biologists believe this is a remnant of social grooming. In our primate past, being groomed by a family member was a sign of ultimate safety. These sounds trick the modern brain into feeling loved, protected, and physically soothed by a digital tribe. It is the feeling of being cared for. Even through a screen, The sound of gentle attention reminds your nervous system that you are safe, allowing you to let your guard down. We have discussed white noise, but scientists have found that pink noise is actually better for deep sleep. It is the mathematical sound of nature. While white noise has equal intensity at all frequencies, pink noise decreases in intensity as the frequency gets higher. This means it has more bass and less treble. It sounds like heavy rain, rustling leaves, or a steady wind. Remarkably, this frequency profile matches the brain waves of slow-wave sleep. By listening to it, your brain entrains to the rhythm, syncing up its electrical pulses with the sound, deepening your memory retention and the quality of your rest. You are tuning your mind to the frequency of the earth. The sound of rain is not just soothing because it is pretty. It is soothing because it sounds exactly like a sleeping brain. The standard buzzing alarm clock is perhaps the most violent way to end the night. Biologically, it is a panic attack. When a loud, sudden noise wakes you, your body goes into immediate fight-or-flight mode. Your blood pressure spikes, your heart rate accelerates, and your system is flooded with adrenaline. You are not waking up, you are being startled into consciousness. Studies show that this alarm shock can keep your stress levels elevated for hours into the morning. It creates a state of sleep inertia, where the grogginess is heavier because the brain was dragged out of its cycle at the wrong moment. You deserve a gentle return. Waking up should be a slow ascent, a sunrise of the senses, rather than a siren that tells you the house is on fire. Many adults find they cannot sleep because their inner voice won't stop talking about tomorrow's to-do list. The cure is often to listen to a story, but not just any story. Listening to a calm voice reading a neutral story occupies the language center of the brain. It is called the cognitive shuffle. By giving your Broca's area something passive to focus on, you prevent it from generating your own internal worries. It breaks the loop of anxiety. The story is just engaging enough to stop you from thinking, but boring enough to allow you to drift away. It is a bedtime story for the busy mind. You are handing the microphone to someone else, letting their voice carry the burden of thought so that you can simply listen and let go. We assume that perfect silence is the ideal condition for sleep. But if you were placed in the quietest room on earth, an anechoic chamber, you would likely go insane, not to sleep. In a room with zero sound reflection, the silence becomes heavy. Without external noise to process, the brain turns up the volume on internal sounds. You begin to hear the blood rushing in your veins, the high-pitched whine of your nervous system, and the thumping of your heart. It becomes a cacophony of biology. The brain craves input. Without it, it begins to hallucinate. We do not need silence. We need quiet. A gentle, low-level background hum that confirms we are still part of the world. You are alive, and life makes noise. The goal is not to escape the world completely, but to find a harmony with it, a soft background song that accompanies your rest. If you lived in 1600s Europe, you would not sleep for 8 hours straight. You would sleep in 2 distinct chunks. We have forgotten that for most of human history, sleep was a 2-part play. Before the invention of the light bulb, people went to bed at sunset. They would sleep for about 4 hours, the first sleep. Then, around midnight, they would wake up for an hour or 2. This watch was a time for prayer, reading, romance, or chatting with neighbors. Then they would go back for the second sleep until morning. The Industrial Revolution and artificial light compressed this natural rhythm into the single, monophasic block we strive for today. The midnight waking isn't insomnia. It's an echo of an ancient habit. Waking up in the middle of the night is not a failure. It is a natural intermission. It is a quiet hour that belongs to you, a space between the acts where you can simply be. Leonardo da Vinci and Nikola Tesla were rumored to sleep only 2 hours a day, broken into tiny naps. This extreme efficiency is known as the Uberman cycle, but it comes at a steep price. Polyphasic sleepers attempt to hack biology by taking 6 20-minute naps spaced evenly throughout the day. The theory is that you can force the brain to dive instantly into REM sleep, skipping the filler of light sleep. While it frees up 20 hours of waking time, it is chemically devastating. Without the long cycles of slow wave sleep to clean the brain and repair the body, the Uberman sleeper often suffers from extreme mood instability and physical exhaustion. It is a machine's schedule imposed on a biological soul. Time is not the only currency. You can buy more hours in the day, but you pay for them with the depth and richness of your mind. True genius requires the patience of a full rest. We think of sleepwalkers as zombies with arms outstretched, but the reality is far more complex. People have driven cars, cooked meals, and even sent emails while fast asleep. Sleepwalking, or somnambulism, occurs during the deepest phase of non-REM sleep. It is a dissociated state. The motor centers of the brain are fully awake and active, allowing for complex movement, but the prefrontal cortex is completely asleep. The lights are on in the engine room, but the captain is not on the bridge. The sleepwalker is acting on primitive, automatic scripts, navigating the house by muscle memory alone, with no recollection of the journey. Your body has a mind of its own. It remembers the paths you walk every day, capable of carrying you through the world even when your conscious self has stepped away. There is a disease so rare and terrifying that it affects only about 40 families in the world. It is the curse of permanent wakefulness, fatal familial insomnia. This genetic condition is caused by prions, misfolded proteins that attack the thalamus. The thalamus is the gatekeeper of sleep. It is the door that closes to block out the world. In FFI patients, the door is eaten away. They physically cannot lose consciousness. They are stuck in a state of permanent, exhausted awareness that lasts for months, eventually leading to death. It is the ultimate proof that sleep is not a luxury. It is the very foundation of life. Without it, the biological machinery simply falls apart. Sleep is a mercy. Every night that you are able to close your eyes and drift away is a gift of survival, a biological blessing that keeps you whole. Imagine drifting off to sleep only to be jolted awake by the sound of a gunshot, a cymbal crash, or a bomb going off right next to your ear. You open your eyes, and the room is silent. This is exploding head syndrome. It is not dangerous, but it is frightening. It happens during the handoff between the waking brain and the sleeping brain. Usually, the auditory neurons shut down gradually, but in this case, there is a hiccup. A sudden, synchronized firing of the auditory cortex. It is a neural short circuit. The brain interprets this massive burst of electrical activity as a massive burst of sound. It is a hallucination of noise created by the sudden silence of the mind. The transition to peace can sometimes be rocky. It is just a little static on the radio as you tune into the station of sleep, a signal that you are crossing the border into the night. If a dolphin were to fall completely asleep, it would drown. To solve this, nature gave it a superpower. It can sleep with one eye open and half a brain awake. This is called unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. The dolphin shuts down one hemisphere of its brain to rest and recharge, while the other hemisphere remains fully alert to control breathing and watch for predators. The eye connected to the awake hemisphere stays open. After a few hours, they switch sides. The left brain wakes up, and the right brain goes to sleep. They are never fully unconscious, yet they are fully rested. It is a seamless rotation of duty that allows life to continue without pause. Balance is key. You don't always need to stop everything to find rest. Sometimes you just need to rest one part of yourself, while the other carries you forward. When mallard ducks sleep in a group, they arrange themselves in a line. The ducks in the middle sleep deeply with both eyes closed. But the ducks on the edges do something remarkable. The ducks at the very ends of the row engage in unihemispheric sleep. They keep the eye facing away from the group open, scanning for danger, while the eye facing the group is closed in sleep. They act as living bookends of protection. After a while, the group rotates. The tired sentinels move to the middle to sleep fully, and well-rested ducks move to the edges to take the watch. It is a collective system of care, sharing the burden of vigilance so that everyone gets a turn to rest safely. We sleep better when we look out for each other. Knowing that someone else is watching the door allows the heart to let go and drift into the deepest peace. Being a giraffe is exhausting work, but sleeping is dangerous when you are 18 feet tall and surrounded by lions. So the giraffe has mastered the art of the micro-sleep. Giraffes have one of the shortest sleep requirements of any mammal. They sleep for only about 30 minutes a day, often broken into bursts of just a few minutes at a time. To enter deep REM sleep, they curl their long neck back and rest their head on their own hip, creating a bizarre loop shape. But they only hold this vulnerable position for a moment. They snatch their rest in tiny, efficient fragments, constantly resetting their energy, without ever letting their guard down for too long. You can survive on less than you think. When life demands that you stand tall and keep moving, even small moments of rest can be enough to sustain you. The octopus is an alien intelligence on Earth. When it sleeps, it doesn't just lie still, it puts on a show. Its skin changes color to match the content of its dreams. Scientists have filmed octopuses cycling through vibrant patterns of camouflage while fast asleep. One moment they are the color of sand, the next they pulse with the dark bands of a threat display, and then shift to the texture of kelp. It is believed that they are reliving the events of the day, hunting a crab, hiding from a shark. Because their skin is directly wired to their brain, their internal dream world is broadcast externally on their body. They are literally wearing their dreams. Your inner world is vibrant. Even in the stillness of sleep, your mind is painting pictures, rehearsing the colors of your life in a private, beautiful display. The great frigate bird can fly over the ocean for 2 months without ever touching land or water. How does it sleep? It sleeps while it soars. By attaching tiny EEG monitors to these birds, scientists discovered that they take 10-second naps while riding thermal air currents high in the sky. During these seconds, they enter unihemispheric sleep, and occasionally, for just a split second, they enter REM sleep. They spiral upwards on the warm air, sleeping in the updraft, trusting the wind to hold them. They have learned to rest on the very forces that carry them. You can find rest even in motion. When the winds of life are lifting you up, you can relax into the glide, trusting that the current will carry you where you need to go. We often blame our phones for keeping us awake because they are distracting. But the problem is not the content, it is the light itself. Your phone is a pocket-sized sun. Evolution did not prepare us for LEDs. The ganglion cells in your retina are specifically tuned to detect blue light, which, in nature, only comes from the morning sky. When you stare at a screen at 10 p.m., you are blasting these cells with a signal that says, "It is noon." The brain obeys. It suppresses the release of melatonin immediately. By looking at your phone before bed, you are chemically shifting your internal time zone, giving yourself jet lag without ever leaving your house. The day has ended. You do not need to carry the sun in your pocket. Put the light away and let the darkness do its work of healing. The nightcap, a drink before bed, is one of the most persistent myths in sleep culture. We believe it helps us sleep because we lose consciousness faster. But sedation is not sleep. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. It knocks out the cortex, helping you lose consciousness, but it destroys the quality of the rest that follows. Specifically, it fragments REM sleep. As the alcohol is metabolized by the liver, it causes a rebound effect, releasing chemicals that wake the brain up in tiny, unremembered bursts. You might sleep for 8 hours, but you wake up exhausted because the alcohol prevented the brain from performing its restorative cleaning cycles. It is a counterfeit rest. True peace cannot be bottled. The deep, healing waters of sleep must be clear and pure, unpolluted by anything that dulls the senses rather than restoring them. You go to bed at 10 p.m. on weekdays, but push it to 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, thinking you can catch up by sleeping in on Sunday. This habit has a name, and it is destroying your Monday. Scientists call this social jet lag. By shifting your sleep window by 3 hours for the weekend, you are effectively flying from New York to California every Friday and flying back every Sunday. Your circadian rhythm, the biological clock of every cell in your body, cannot adjust that fast. When the alarm rings on Monday morning, your biology is still in a different time zone. The Monday blues are often just the physical symptoms of this rapid time travel. Consistency is the truest luxury. By keeping a steady rhythm, even on the days you don't have to, you are telling your body that it is safe, stable, and in sync with the world. We associate coziness with warmth, burying ourselves under thick duvets in heated rooms. But physiologically, to fall asleep, your body needs to cool down. For the brain to initiate sleep, the core body temperature must drop by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. This drop is the trigger that releases melatonin. If your room is too hot, your body struggles to dump the heat. You toss and turn, kicking off the covers, because your body is frantically trying to radiate warmth to hit the target temperature. A cool room is not just a preference, it is a biological necessity for deep slumber. Cool the air to warm the spirit. Let the fresh, cool air of the night wash over you, signaling to your inner fire that it is time to dim the embers and rest. It is not just the light of the phone that keeps us up. It is the motion. The scroll is a mechanism designed to hijack the brain's seeking circuit. The human brain is wired to seek information. Every time you swipe up and see a new image, you get a tiny hit of dopamine, the reward chemical. But unlike a meal, which makes you full, digital dopamine makes you hungry for more. It creates a dopamine loop. The brain thinks, maybe the next one will be the best one. You are stuck in a state of high alert hunting, looking for a satisfaction that never comes. It keeps the brain in a state of seeking rather than settling. There is nothing more to find tonight. You have seen enough, learned enough, and done enough. The world will still be there tomorrow. You can stop searching and start resting. We spend so much time trying to fix our sleep, treating it like a broken machine. But sleep is not a problem. It is the universal solution. It is the only thing in nature that fixes everything at once. Think of the systems we have discussed. The glial cells washing the brain, the muscles rebuilding their fibers, the emotions being processed, the memories being filed. No pill, no therapy, and no technology can do all of these things simultaneously. Sleep is the single most effective medicine we have. It is a total system reset. a nightly miracle that takes the damage of being alive and transforms it back into health. You are a self-healing organism. You do not need to do anything to fix yourself tonight. You simply need to get out of the way, close your eyes, and let the wisdom of your body take over. To fall asleep is the ultimate act of faith. It is the only time in our lives where we voluntarily let go of all control, trusting that we will be safe. Biologically, falling asleep requires a shift in the nervous system from sympathetic to parasympathetic. You cannot force yourself to sleep. You can only invite it. It is a surrender. You have to trust the bed to hold you. You have to trust the roof to shelter you. You have to trust your heart to keep beating without your supervision. It is a spiritual practice of release, proving every night that the world can spin without your help. You can let go. The world will be here when you get back. For now, you are free from the burden of being in charge. You are free to simply drift. There is a beautiful philosophical idea that each day is a miniature life, and each sleep is a miniature death. We wake up, we have a morning, an afternoon, and an evening. And then, at the end of the cycle, we close our eyes and depart. This cycle teaches us the rhythm of existence. It reminds us that endings are not failures. They are necessary parts of the design. By practicing this departure every night, we learn to accept the flow of time. We learn that after every sunset, there is a sunrise. After every silence, there is a song. The day is done. It has lived its life, and now it is time to let it go. You have finished the work. You have run the race. Now you can rest in the peace of completion. Why do we sleep? Perhaps the most beautiful answer is, so we can begin again. Without sleep, the days would bleed into one long, exhausting sentence. Sleep provides the punctuation. It puts a full stop at the end of the day's paragraph. It clears the chalkboard of the mind, washing away the scribbles and the dust. It ensures that when you open your eyes tomorrow, you are not just continuing yesterday, you are starting a fresh, new chapter. It preserves the possibility of renewal. Tomorrow is a blank page. It is pristine and untouched. No matter what happened today, the night will wash it clean, and the morning will offer you a fresh start. We end our journey here, back where we started. In the dark, in the quiet, in the comfort of your own bed. We have traveled from the neurons in your brain to the stars in the sky. We have looked at the sleep of whales, the sleep of stones, and the sleep of astronauts. And all of it points to one simple truth. Rest is not a luxury. It is the foundation of the universe. The stars rest, the tides rest, the trees rest, and you are part of that great breathing rhythm. You belong to the night just as much as you belong to the day. You are home. The journey is over. The facts are finished. The thinking is done. All that is left is the soft weight of your blanket, the slow rhythm of your breath, and the gentle, welcoming dark. Good night.